The Kings! They already scored a touchdown. Literally, as soon as I'm trying to switch, they already scored a touchdown. Like, you cannot make this up, bro. This is actually crazy. They already scored a touchdown right off rip. Right off rip, they got a touchdown already. That is crazy. But they do got the touchdown already, which is crazy. Oh, man. Let's see. Getting everything all set up real quick. Yes, sir. Round 2 as end the season. Regular season champion. Yeah, bro. Oh, man. Yeah, another day, another disappointment from Ricky Prohl. Oh, I forgot. I got to turn this off. I don't have to listen to this anymore. There we go. Okay, turn that off. It's 6-0. Did they miss the extra point? James Robinson, by the way, 53-yard rushing touchdown. Hey, man, I low-key wish A-Dog wasn't here for me to say this, but he feels the same way, so I know you don't have an issue with this. James Robinson was available for the Storm to pick up, and they said, nah, we got Jashawn Corbin. Let's go. Oh, my God. Extra point is apparently good, but then there was a penalty. Again, we're still looking at it, but yeah. An inches to the edge of the 40. They could have easily gotten a sneak. And he punted. Oh, my God, that's terrible. That's terrible. DC Defenders advancing to their second straight championship, their third ever. 30 comments in the ESPN post already. Oh, my gosh. Okay, I need to go back to mine. I need to do that. I think I was 2 of 3 on that game pick, right? Let's scroll all the way down, baby. Yeah, they did not score that little points, but I was right. Okay, 2 of 3. I got 2 of the 3 right. I'll gladly take that. Okay. I did pick the Kings to win this one. I've just got that feeling the Kings are going to get it done, so I do have the Kings winning this game. Okay, I can go get some drinks. I need to go refill my drink bag. I drank all of the ones I had. We back. We outside, but we inside. We got the refilled drink bag. I almost just tripped over my PC. But we back. Let's go. I kind of want to see the Kings win too. I want Louisville to win it all. Audie Field will be sold Saturday. Yeah, it's going to be something else. I'm an island in here in the dome. G-Man. Where you at, G-Man? Where you at in the game? That ball mode wants to shake. 2 new things there. Was that you? Yeah, down go the Storm for sure. Storm taking that L. The Defenders going to the back-to-back title game, baby. Back-to-back. Let's get him, Hawks. Louisville Kings, the best team ever created. I don't think you're wrong. Ooh. Hey, don't say that, man. Don't say that yet. Gotta have faith. Gotta have faith like people shouldn't have in the U.S. men's national team. Clear that. Got it. Good. Yeah, they're showing the James Robinson 53-yard touchdown. Oh, my gosh. Only Storm got their MVP. Hey, this is true. They're going to get their MVP, but the Kings, man, they might get, like, every award. Think about this. The Kings should have Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Special Teams Player of the Year, and if they win the championship and championship game MVP, they might finish, like, 5 awards, which would just be crazy. I mean, last year, DC had, I believe, it was 3, correct? Because they had the Coach of the Year. No, they had Assistant Coach of the Year, I believe, as well. So they had 4. I believe that's the max we've seen is 4. So we might see that record be broken and have 5 awards be given out to one team, if you count championship game as an MVP, naturally. Returners up to the 20, the 30, and out of bounds about the 35-yard line. The Kings winning and Ricky getting another spot out of the rest. Yeah, Storm had a great year. It's Anthony Beck, man. Like, Anthony Beck, it's just... You have to count the Dragons game as a playoff game. That was winning in. It's like the Stars-Panthers game in 2023. It was a playoff game, and you lost. You lost again. You lost again, and you lost again. And the bottom line is, even though this final score was close, they really weren't that competitive in any of the 4 games. That's the worst part. Like, I genuinely believe if the coaches were swapped, I think the Storm win this game today. I genuinely believe that, but it is what it is. Ball is snapped for Perez. Pressured. Throws to the right side of the field, and it's way too high. Incomplete pass for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Back to playoff fluke. Anthony back, baby. He's that guy. We them boys. This our year. Is he the Cowboys? He's the Cowboys himself. He's Marvin Lewis. That's a good comparison by Adam. 0-7 in the playoffs. Beck is now 0-4 in playoff-like games. Good comparison. Yeah, I want the Dragons, man. You all know I'm a Dragons guy more than Sea Dragons. Pass thrown to the right. It is caught at about the 45. Goes to about extra couple of yards. About 7-yard gain, all things considered. In shotgun. Ball is 5 wide. Ball is snapped. Throws it over the middle of the field. First down. Caught up to the 50-yard line for the St. Louis Battlehawks right there. There we go. Getting us all set up. There we go. And there we go. Beautiful. Should not be Coach Gilly's disappointed. Yeah, he really, like, he can't win it, man. Like, it's been 4 years. Like, at some point, man, you got to call it like it is. If you can't get the job done, you can't get the job done. It sucks to say, but that's Anthony Beck. In shotgun. Good old Sal Cannella getting the catch for 12 yards. Gotta love it. Gonna rush up the middle for about 3.5 yards in the play right there. AJ Smith. Oh, no. We don't like seeing AJ Smith. I mean, like, that's the issue that it's like, again, I'll make a whole Hurricanes video if we lose the Cup Finals, but it's like Rod Brindamore to a point. Like, at some point, it's like, what are your goals? Your goal to just build a good roster that loses, or is your goal to win a championship? If your goal is to win a championship, Anthony Beck is not your guy. If your goal is to have a really good team that makes it to the playoffs, he's 100% the best coach at that. Like, he bodies every other coach. Even technically, he's rival Skip, just not in terms of winning when it matters. Pass thrown to the right on the check down, about a 3.5-yard gain for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Going to be a very, very short, like 3rd and 3 for the Battlehawks. But that's the issue with Beck. You know, can't win it when it matters most, but he'll win it when it doesn't matter. That's Beck. Third and 3 for the Battlehawks. 8 minutes left in the first quarter. In shotgun. 2 receivers at both sides of the ball. Ball is snapped. Perez throws to the right. Caught for the first down to Akeem Butler. Nope, no, Sal Cannella. Like this drive so far says exalted. Man, for a second, I saw him do like the Spider-Man thing. I thought he did like the other thing. I was like, oh my god. Look at that. Great play right there. Just quick little first down play to Sal Cannella. And I know people talking about him not getting a ton of receptions. Again, he just got back to the team, getting his connection back to Perez. Now he's getting that, working out really well for him. In shotgun, ball is snapped. Fakes the handoff, pitches it back. Gets to the 35, taken down to about the 32-yard line. Second down now for the St. Louis Battlehawks, about 2nd and 6 for them. Four notifications on that one. Oh, come on, Fox. Stop doing this to me. 2nd and 5 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Ball is snapped. Takes the handoff. Press throws to the right. Caught at the 30. Gets up to the 25. The 20. Great play right there for the St. Louis Battlehawks. So, really good play right there. Yeah, first down now for the St. Louis Battlehawks. 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Stephen McBride, last 3 games, 271 yards. A great stat line last 3 games. He has been great last few games. 6 minutes left. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. Handed off. Cuts the right inside. Ooh, great tackling by the Louisville Kings defense. Going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. 6 minutes left now. 5 of 6 of 40 yards is the stat line for Perez so far in this game. Let's see what happens here. 2nd and 9. Louisville's got 4 guys line of scrimmage, 2 guys right behind them. Showing a little bit of pressure on one of the DBs, but nothing much. Fakes the handoff, throws it to the right side. Corner shot, incomplete, no flag. Jason Bean to the bull. Hey, gotta love it, man. Jason Bean going to the championship. Well, here's the thing. Even though technically St. Louis is the favorite really is the Kings. The Kings are the real favorite. Like, they're the people's favorite, I guess you could say, in a sense that, like, the people that watch the UFL know that the favorite in this game is the Kings and the St. Louis Battlehawks are the underdog. But just the Battlehawks are such a big name. It's like the Stallions, man. Like, Stallions are like the favorite to win the title for so long this year for like no reason, right? Like, all of us knew that they weren't a favorite to win the Stanley Cup, win the championship, but for some reason they were the favorite because people just, oh, Stallions, great team. So, I mean, technically, St. Louis winning would be the upset, in all honesty. Oh, great catch by Akeem. They're going to call it incomplete, though. Oh, man, it was a great one. If he was able to catch that, it would have been crazy. Man, that was a great catch. Just wasn't able to get both feet in bounds. That would have been, or either foot in bounds, I should say. I love his stopping that like it was close, like he wasn't completely out of bounds. Like, come on, man. 4th and 9 on the field goal for Ramis Ahmed. It's a 37-yard field goal. Kick is up. It is a beautiful field goal. It is 7-3 with a little under 4.5 minutes left in the quarter. The battle of the inexperienced head coaches. Seeing some random stuff on here. Let's see. You have rights. Okay, we're just let's see the comments under this Storm post. Couldn't stop a 3rd and long all day. Great season team. Orlando, what was that? Orlando, what happened? Vomky cooks us as usual. Yeah, Beck chokes as usual. This team, man. DC was apparently faking injuries. Did it 4 or 5 times. Yeah, they definitely were. I mean, that was one of those games. It was the perfect example of both, of like just really not consistent officiating, because there were a lot of borderline plays that they immediately got back to Orlando. They literally called out the fake injuries for DC and then said, "Nah, I don't see it." It was a bad one. I mean, in the end, DC was the better team, all things considered. It's not shocking. It's an Anthony Beck coach team. Let's call it like it is. If it wasn't for Spencer Sanders, that game would have been a blowout. Like, Spencer Sanders came in and said, "Watch this, Orlando, I got you." Pulled the KJ Costello right to Orlando for the pick 6, which is crazy. That was cinema. That was cinema, that watching that happen, man. You can't get much better than that. Like, you really can't. Anthony Beck, man. Anthony Beck, Deshaun Corbin. I don't know when that video is getting posted. For those of you that are new to the channel, I don't only do the made the playoffs and miss the playoffs. I do eliminated videos. All I know is probably 2/3 of that video is just going to be me dogging on those 2 guys. Like, they deserve it. Like, Jack Plummer didn't have his best game of the year, but like, this is why I said, again, we're in commercial break for this one. The reason I picked DC is I said that their biggest issue for Orlando is their ground game. If Jack Plummer is not literally perfect, they cannot win. They got insanely lucky in week 2 that was the worst week the Kings had. And what happened? Jack Plummer was okay. He wasn't bad enough to cost them the game by any means. And they lost because they didn't have a ground game. Again, they had a couple of decent rushes back-to-back in that one sequence of 10 yards, and that was it. And they lost. It's a shame, but it is what it is for the Storm. Now it's time back for the Kings versus the Battlehawks. The Kings have already fully outscored themselves against the Battlehawks last time. They put up 3 points in the last game. This time they're at 7, so they've already been a massive improvement. I think it stopped right there and it's an improvement, but we'll see what happens. Let's see if the Kings can keep this scoring up. St. Louis is kicking off to the Louisville Kings. Kickoff is up. It's going to be returned to the 15, up to the 20, the 25, the 30, down about the 35-yard line. They're still in a playoff in the Memorial. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Appreciate the United Bullet messed up their season. Oh my gosh. Hey, just because I called the Stallions season and the Renegade season doesn't mean I know. Because, man, I really thought the Kings were going to suck this year. I mean, hell, they did. They sucked. And then they didn't even suck. They just couldn't win the game. They were like the Showboats last year. And then they made the changes and they were like, great team. Like, once they made those changes, they went from being literally the Showboats last year to an incredible team. Pass thrown over the middle, caught up to the 50 after he breaks the tackle, gets down about the 46-yard line. Talk about playing with a chip on your shoulder. There's a couple Kings receivers that really are. Lucky Jackson and especially Isaiah Winstead are playing with chips on their shoulder. Especially Winstead really should have been all UFL wide receiver 3 instead of rolling, and he ended up not getting it, but we'll see. The O-line change, Robinson, and then obviously Chandler Rogers. Great trio of changes for sure. Let's see what Louisville does here. In shotgun. What are we doing here, Fox? Come on, man. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard rush. Seven to 3, 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter right now. Going a bit quicker. I believe the other game took to like 45 for the first quarter to be over. This one will be over by like 35. 2nd and 9. Motioning your receiver from the top to the bottom of your screen. Now you got 3 guys at the bottom in the bunch. Ball is snapped. Throws to the left side. James Robinson, who goes down for about a 3-yard gain, if that. Might call it just 2.5. Sean Gunn, Logan on the sideline right now. Up in the booth, I should say. Steve Logan. First season in the UFL. A whole lot better hire than Tyler Siskey. Imagine hiring Tyler Siskey over Logan. Ooh, I couldn't imagine somebody doing that. 3rd and 6 for the Louisville Kings now. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. Looks to the middle of the field. Throws it. Incomplete. Not able to bring it down. So incomplete pass right there for the Kings. Gonna force the punt right there. Or technically the field goal because they're in field goal range. So it's gonna force the field goal. But we'll see. Yeah, they have Tanner Brown, who has been the best kicker in the league this year. So if anyone's going to make this kick, it would be Tanner Brown. This should be a 4-point field goal. It is. It's a 60-yarder. Are we going to have 2 of them? Are we going to have 2 60-yard field goals in the same day? Like, surely not, right? Let's see. Oh, my God. It's close. Oh, my God. He made it. That's a 4-point field goal. We have a 4-point field goal in each game. That's crazy. Oh, man, that's crazy. Tanner Brown proving he is the best kicker in the league by doing that. That's a crazy kick right there. That's huge. 4-point field goal. That makes it 11 to 3 right now for Louisville. Huge play for them. Oh, man. That's a huge one. Does it feel like, compared to 145? Honestly, I don't really feel it that way. I think that there's differences, but, like, it doesn't feel super different. Like, let me put it this way. From last year, no. From 24, yes. If you say 24 to this year, I would say yes. But if you say last year, this year, I honestly still think it's the same league. Like, that's how I would say. Because 24 to 25 was changed, and 25-26 was changed. And if you combine them, then it feels like a huge change. But one to the other, not really. You know what I mean? The Rock was 2032. Oh my gosh. Good old Anthony backed. Start the card with the eggs. Yeah, that's 0-9 for Anthony backed. I forgot. 0-9 now for that, but yeah. Hey, there's a real shot. I mean, Tanner Brown has been excellent this year. He's been the most consistent kicker in the league by a decent margin this year. I mean, that's another 60-yarder. I mean, he's multiple 60-yard kicks now. I mean, that's a playoff one. It matches what McCrane did. This is a huge one. Makes it an 8-point lead for the Louisville Kings early in this game. I mean, that's a big deal. So that's one extra point right there, which you'll gladly take, especially with this Kings team. I mean, the Battlehawks team, we've seen how suspect they've been in the red zone in like those scenarios, especially within the 5. So like that's a big deal that you're able to get him in that scenario. Hmm. I wonder who will he go to the NFL. I mean, the Packers is a maybe. They did use Harbacheck for a little bit, so that's a maybe. And their kicker was, McMahon has sucked last year. Like, there's a couple other teams, but that's one I would go to mind. The Giants, maybe. I don't remember if they drafted a kicker, but that's another one that could. But yeah, there's a couple. Hmm. 49ers. Like, there's a couple of teams that he could, but all I know is he's definitely going to be somewhere because he's been so good this year. Pro has to stop being conservative. I mean, we'll see what he does. That's sports of the hunt. Yeah, both of them for sure. Yeah, Pro's got it. They got to get some points here again. Because, I mean, that's back-to-back drives where the Kings did put up points. I believe the Battlehawks got the ball first, correct? Just got to check to make sure. Okay, yeah, so the Battlehawks got the ball first, so that's definitely not good for St. Louis. But, yeah, 60-yard field goal is huge, 4-point field goal. Tanner Brown, just great, man. 2 of them made the playoffs in the UFL, yes. 2 60-yard field goals is crazy. Everything we had in week 10 to win the game once he locked up. Yeah, that's exactly the case that Brandon's saying. They rush up the middle. It's about a 3.5-yard gain. Second made forward field goal of the year, man. It's crazy. So you had Dalmas with 1, him with 2, and you had McCrane with 3. I believe that's the official count so far. Because Hoyland was close but never had a 60-yarder, so yeah. In shotgun. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. Ball is snapped. Perez throws the dump off to Howard, who breaks the tackle, gets the first down, then some. Gets to about the 49-yard line. If he had gotten tackled, that would have been about a 4.5-yard line, so that's a big one. I think Beck will be back. As long as he wants to coach, he's going to keep coaching. Like, it's something about, like, owners and stuff that, it's like the money aspect. They're okay with a team being a consistent, like, 700 team and they lose in the playoffs. You very rarely see teams, only in, like, hockey and soccer do you see coaches and, like, or see presidents actually say, hey, we want to win. I mean, like, for instance, Mike Tomlin not being fired, having to leave on his own accord. John Harbaugh not being fired. Sean McDermott taking forever to be fired. Like, at some point, man, it's like, if you can't win after, like, a decade, you're not winning next year. Rush up to the right. It's going to be about to the 50-yard line. Like, very rarely do you have, like, a Ray Bork, and even then, Bork was on some not stellar Bruins teams for his entire career. Like, very rarely do you have somebody that, like, plays a decade or coaches a decade that can't get it done, eventually get it done. It might need a change of scenery, but I don't know, man. Maybe we'll snap the ball. Either this is the end of the quarter or they're going to be one more play. Let's see. 8 seconds left in the quarter. And they do snap it. Last play of the quarter. Perez fakes the throw, incomplete on 2nd and 5. Yes, it is the first play or the last play of the first quarter right there. Let's see. Okay, that Danny Hamlin, Suarez, Bubba, Kosovar. Let's see what's trending. No UFL. That's a shame. Mm. Yeah, UFL to NFL soon is right. That's a guy that's definitely going to the NFL. And they're a team. Anthony McMahon, he is what he is. He'll get you like 7 or 8 wins, and then he'll bounce to the playoffs. Like, technically speaking, this was the best playoff game he's ever done. And if you really look at it, as objectively as possible, it took a Spencer Sanders pick 6. That was a horrid throw for the game to end up being a 1-score game. Like, let's call it like, that's not an impressive, that's not like, oh, you got beat. Like, you were the worst team today. And a lot of that is on coaching. It's just, Anthony McMahon, he's something else. He is something else. He's not going to win you a championship. It's been 4 years now where he's done the same thing. As soon as it gets to the toughest point, the mountaintop, he disappears. And some guys it's like that. Some guys you just can't win it all. You'll be a great coach. You'll be able to help get your team up the hill, make a better roster, and you won't get it done. Now, granted, it won't really look good if the Battlehawks also lose in this game, because then it's like, I guess they both can't win. But the difference is the Battlehawks are just the Battlehawks. Beck will have done it on 2 different teams now. You know what I mean? Like, that's big difference. Man, I gotta take this out. I got like this mountain of bottles I gotta take out. They're both made for each other. I mean, hey, it's only been 1 quarter, but like, if the Battlehawks lose, like, if they were to lose, yeah, they're made for each other. Plus 15,000. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy that he's that much of an underdog. Not bad for the doorman. Oh my god. The Stallions. The Renegades. The Stallions again. Look at that. I love they're showing the other 3 championships. Wow, they really skipped over those second and third Stallions championships. They really put them both together for like a second. It's crazy. You can't take the St. Louis Anthony back. Oh my god. Body Field, baby. The DC Defenders. 11-3, start of the second quarter. The beach balls being hit over. $15 minutes left in the second quarter. 3rd and 5. 3 receivers at the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom of the screen. Ball is snapped. Throws to the left. It is going to be caught out of bounds for about a 2.5-yard gain. They're going to be forced to punt it here. Well, technically they can't punt it, right? I'm trying to see. Yeah, they're not able to punt. So they're going to be forced to go for it here. This could be big for the Kings. The Kings are able to get a stop here. That's going to be huge for them. A stop here by the Kings allows them to get the ball in good field position, and they have a kicker. They make a 60-yarder, so you're only about like 15-yard, not even 15 yards shy of a 4-point field goal again. St. Louis needs this conversion here. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 2 at the top of your screen, 4th and 3. Let's see. Ball is snapped, and it's going to be thrown over the middle, and it is caught for the first down. Huge play right there for the Battlehawks. Well said. Huge right now. Pass is thrown over the middle. Yeah, they're showing that was a good play right there. Throw it over the middle. First and 10. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. They throw it over the middle. And it's, oh, he dropped it. That was a touchdown for Hakeem Butler. It might have been stopped like a yard shy. That would have been a touchdown. Oh, man, that would have been great. That would have been a great play right there for Keem Butler. He was not able to bring that in. That's terrible, man. That would have been a great catch. That's a very rare drop by Keem Butler. That was right in his hands. He wasn't able to bring it in. Like the Chargers sector. Oh my gosh, the Chargers. True. Actually, good comparison. Second and 10 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. 13 minutes left in the half. Ball is snapped. Throws to the left. Caught at, for the first down at about the 12-yard line for St. Louis. Another first down right there. Looking like a really good driving effort for the St. Louis Battlehawks. I mean, any score is good here. Like, I understand you do obviously want touchdown, maybe tie it up with a 2-point conversion, but if you just even get a field goal, that's huge. In shotgun, ball is snapped. They hand it off. Rush inside. About a 4-yard gain right there. And they do both have Louis in it. Second down now. Cat's trying to have some fun right now under the door. I'm not letting that happen. Second and 6. 12 minutes left. In the half. Let's see. Okay. Second and 6. Ball is snapped. Fake the handoff. Throws to the right. It is incomplete. There is a flag. I'm not a huge fan of this flag just because that was a completely uncatchable ball, but I do understand it. Like, you know, it is one, but makes sense. But yeah. We'll see, though. Let's see. I thought I just got a notification from something. I guess I did. I don't know. Okay, up. Go. There you go. Yeah, rough drop for sure by him. That's 100% true. Big first DC team. Oh, okay. They hand it off, and it's going to be a touchdown, St. Louis. Rushing touchdown, got it. Now, do they go for 2? That's going to be a tough one if they decide to go for 2 here. I could understand going for 2, and I probably would, honestly, but we'll see. I would probably go for this, honestly. Like, I like making it a tie game. Again, I do understand it's early, so if you don't want to do it, I do get it. But I just like the idea of, like, hey, let's do this, but we'll see. We will see. New post, not seeing anything. There we go. UFL, yeah, good all. Gotta love it. Second down now for second quarter. Let's see if they make this kick. They're gonna go for the kick. I mean, I get what you mean, Marvin. I just like the idea of trying to go for tie, but I do get what you mean. It's still early, so we'll take it. Extra point is good. It is now going to be still a close game, obviously. It's a 1-point game. We got about 12 minutes left in the half. Remember, Louisville does get the ball to start the next half. That's the biggest advantage for them as they get it next one. Let's bring kitties. Yes, sir. Let's go, Battlehawks, as Batista. Gotta have something to eat, man. I'm not gonna have actual dinner for like another 2.5 hours. That's gonna suck, but it is what it is. Cowboys, Jaguars, especially. Texans, to a degree, would probably benefit. Fairbairn's a really good deep kicker. I know he wasn't like as good last year, but still. But like Cam Little, Brandon Aubrey, man. Jay Bates? Yeah. Nah, we ain't gonna grow it out. Just gonna shave it once in a while. Yeah, nah, Battlehawks, nah. Especially having my camera. My camera barely fits anywhere. Yeah, the UFC 250, Freedom 250 is like literally the day after the UFL championship, which is crazy. Like, even though, you know, the final's going to be over, you're going to have a really crazy, like, back-to-back. The World Cup and UFC Freedom 250 all going on, like, the exact same time, which is crazy. Oh my gosh, the yes movement. You're showing the slide by Jason Bean. The guy that's going in the championship game, Jason Bean, is who they're showing. And the huge Derek Roberson hit. 6 of the last 7. Come on, man. It's like they said, I don't remember who I saw some. It's like somebody said that until that stupid trend started, you never realized how often the phrase 6-7, 6 of 7, or something like that actually comes out. It's crazy. Kickoff is up. It is going to be bounced at about the 10-yard line. Gets returned at 10, up to the 20, 25, and then be down 25. Kurt Manavie, Joel Klatt doing today's game. Joel Klatt is a voice of college football this year, I believe. I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. 3-point line has already done a lot of damage. It's been good, but like I think they need to move the 3-point line back, honestly. I'm not even joking when I say that. I think it's gotten to a point where it's changed it to where it's just teams just chuck up threes and it just becomes like bad basketball to watch at times. I think they should move it back, and that's all they should do, honestly. They hand it off to the left side of the field. Great stop by St. Louis' defense. Going to be a 0-yard gain for the Kings right there. Look at that, 30.9 points a game, and that includes the St. Louis game where they got absolutely like demolished down below. Because if you don't include that game and include the week prior, that's like an average of like 35 points a game, which is crazy. 1-6 their last. Oh my gosh. 2nd and 10 for the Louisville Kings now. 11 minutes left in the half. 3 receivers at the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. Ball is snapped. Throws it over the middle. It is going to be caught at about the 32-ish yard line right there. Chandler Rogers doing some talking right now on this headset. Getting the play call. Let's see what happened in the next play here. Ball is snapped. Rogers pressured. Moving to his right. Throws it. He gets hit as he throws. It's incomplete. If he doesn't get hit as he throws, that's probably complete. There is a flag. This might be roughing the passer, though. It probably is a very questionable one. Oh, they're going to be holding somebody on the offense. It's going to decline that penalty. Smart move. Naturally, duh, you're going to call it, but yeah. So, big play right there for St. Louis. Able to get the stop. That's huge. I mean, you got to remember, because of the whole thing with, with how St. Louis got the ball at the start, you really, really want to have the lead heading into half. It's very rare that you're going to get something like, the Orlando DC thing happen where you get an interception like that right at the beginning. But we'll see. Punt is up by Tanner Brown, or not Tanner Brown, by the punter. Is going to be recovered at the 17-yard line up to the 20. Cuts to the middle to the 25. Keeps going to the 30. And going to be taken down. Maybe they'll call it the 28. They might still give him the 30 with the forward progress, but we'll see. That'll be one of them. Unnecessary roughness on the kicking team, not what you want to see right there. Imagine the defenders are able to successfully NFL at time. I mean, it would be crazy, and I do have that feeling they can. Like, they can, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the winner of this game gets it done. Like, I do get it with DC because you're gonna have the home field advantage, and that is gonna be huge for you. And in a weird way, if you get the home field advantage we expect you to have, it's actually gonna be even better that your home crowds normally weren't as insane. Because like, if you went to DC, which both these teams have, and you played there, and they had like 8K people there versus 18K people there, like that's a big difference mentally. So I do think that there is that sort of like stunning factor. So yeah. And yes, they did just flag the punter for unnecessary roughness. Gotta love it, G-Man. That is great. It's cinema, bro. Flagging the punter, cinema. As long as Spencer Sanders doesn't come in, that's anything's possible, man. If he comes in, oh no. Like I said, if Bean gets hurt or anything, you got to go with EJ Perry. Like you have to. Spencer Sanders is now. We've seen him in like 3-4 games, and it's just not been good in any of them. He's a gangster. What's up, Fred? Random sports commercial showing a bunch of athletes. Russ Wilson. Oh no! Why was he in that commercial? Oh no! Good old St. Louis, baby. United Bull bound hats. Birdie run ties Boston. Okay. Let's see. Do we have anything over here? No. Okay. No twending. They said don't get penalized before the game too. Yeah, and they just oh man. Pass to run over the middle. The show me highlights. Yeah. Got 10 minutes left in the half. St. Louis is gonna get the ball back naturally after the penalty. It's gonna be decent field position about the 45-yard line. Technically a bit shy, it's like the 43-yard line, but see what Luis Perez does. Mr. Unlimited. Oh my god. That would be cool to see Tiama there just on the sideline having a good time. That would be good for sure. Good little boost to morale and could help the quarterbacks out too. First and 10, they're 5 wide, 3 up top, 2 at the bottom of your screen for the receivers. Ball is snapped. Quick throw to the top of your screen to Akeem Butler. Weren't able to bring him down immediately, but still were able to get him quickly, so it's going to be about a 2-yard gain. Instead of a 0, it's a 2-yard gain. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it is what it is. 2nd and 8 now for the St. Louis Battlehawks. They have not crossed the 50 yet. Gets injured and they calls on. Oh my gosh. Wins the first. Oh man. Hey, well, you know what? EJ Perry, the former Showboat guy, EJ Perry. Oh man, great. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. Throws it to the left. It's a deep. Oh, didn't see it. It was a bit out of bounds. Number 1, he didn't see it. Number 2 was a bit out of bounds. It was a bad throw by Perez. If Perez had thrown that a bit better, I get he was getting pressure. I do understand that. But man, that was a touchdown shot they missed right there. Yeah, breakdown coverage for sure. Waiting this moment. I would come in, I'd do the move. I'll do the move. I'll be taking pictures, hopefully. Depends. 3rd and 8 for the Battlehawks. What is it going to be? False start? False start in the Battlehawks. 5-yard penalty. Going to be 3rd and 13. 3rd and 13 for the Battlehawks. I don't know, man, bro. I don't remember how much the beers were, but I know the food was insane. It was like $30 for like a little bit of food. It was crazy. 10 sacks. Crazy that's the record. I mean, granted, it's because they're not counting the USFL stats because Odom had, I think, it was like 12.5 in 2022, which is crazy. And he had like 4 blocked kicks, some insane stat line, like 4 forced fumbles. Oh my god. Ball snap. Perez throws to the right side of the field. Caught. Out of bounds. First down, St. Louis. Great play right there. That's a great play, man. Gonna show this replay. Are they gonna show the replay? No, just showing Cam Gill getting to the pressure. He only got there, but that was a great play right there. Right to the sidelines with that. Gary Jennings again. No, McBride. McBride's been so good recently, man. Oh my gosh. 1st and 10 in shotgun. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. And they stop him immediately. Maybe a half-yard gain in total, but that's about it. Yeah, we get one more Beer Snake appearance this year. The World Cup starting June 11th. Just 4 days away, which is crazy. 7.5 minutes left in the half. 2 receivers up top, motioning, another one from the bottom to the top. Elias Canellis moving up to the top now. So 3 up top in the bunch, 1 at the bottom of your screen. Ball snapped. Fakes the throw, throws a check down. It's a bad throw. Oh, it could have been intercepted. Very, very, very lucky for Perez that wasn't intercepted. That was this close being intercepted. If the linebacker saw that like a split second earlier, he could have made a move on that and gotten that. If the Kings lose, at least if that happens, it's later on the night than if you're a Storm fan, they lost, because that was, if you're a Storm fan, man, you gotta deal with that for the rest of the day. That's the only bright spot in the Hurricanes losing last night, is it was at the very end of the night, like super late, where I was only up for like another hour or two, so it's like not that big a deal, but still sucked. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're gonna call timeout here. 3rd and 9, they're calling timeout here, so it's gonna be 3rd and 9 using the first timeout. Throwing outside. Stay off Twitter for tonight. Unless you're going up there just to hate on Anthony back, then it's probably understandable. Not what I wanted to look up. 3 new posts. 3rd and 9 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Yeah, that was an almost interception for short side. That was really close to being an interception. Much closer to 2-minute warning, and not the first 2 minutes of the game. In shotgun. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 1 up top. Running back is 2. Perez is right. Ball is snapped. Throws the check down and incomplete. That was a lot like the Jack Plummer, Chris Rowland throw earlier. That's kind of on both of them. Perez, that's too close a throw to be off at. The same token, that's a hash you can't drop as Keelan James. Another one of those plays where that's both of them for sure. 4th and 9. So it's gonna be, they're gonna go for this here because this would be way too far a kick for Ahmed. Like, this would be like a 65-yarder almost. It'd be like a 64, 65-yarder. So I do like the call to go for it, but we'll see if they get this. Ball is snapped. Getting pressured. And he's going to take the sack. You cannot take a sack, man. You just lost another 9 yards on the play right there. Kings are getting the ball back in there in now St. Louis territory. It's a really bad sack to take. I mean, that's a great play by Louisville. Getting that sack here is huge. He tried to fake the throw. He had 2 guys on him. Just great play right there. Not even Cam Gill getting it. Hey, Anthony Beck 0-4 in playoff-like games. Yikes, that's bad. But that's the Anthony Beck special, baby. Anthony Beck. When it matters most, his team does not show up. And if it's happened on 2 different teams in 2 different leagues with 3 different owners in a way, yikes. Real yikes. Like, big yikes. We walk, yeah, okay, some random stuff. Let's see, trending again. NASCAR is up there. Has the race ended yet? Okay. Here we go, Pumpkin Perez. Oh my gosh. Is Denny Hamlin going to win again? Is that what happened? Denny Hamlin got another W? That's like 2 in a row? Yeah, he did win the race. That's 2 in a row. Worst weekend. Oh my gosh. Man, this year's just the year of dominant racers, isn't it? Ooh, that's not good. That's a big thing. Okay, so Larson just tweeted out that Mike Panasiuk is not going to play at all today. That he ended up getting injured early, like in warm-up. So that's bad. Yeah, that's another big issue for the Battlehawks. They're down there all UFL center. That's rough. That's a bad blow right there for them, for sure. But we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. That's just rough. Pumpkin Perez tumbling to, oh my gosh. Yeah, man. Battlehawks fans here. He's all to Josh. That's not what you want to see. Hearing Panasiuk's out for the game. That's bad. You making an argument that's their best lineman, and now he's out for the game. That's rough. 6 minutes left in the half. We'll see if if Louisville can score here again. Louisville, they're not going to be able to eat up 6 minutes of clock, but they could try to do back-to-back scoring if they're able to, like, let's say, eat up 4.5 minutes and have a decent defensive drive. But we'll see. Rogers pressured, and he gets sacked. Great sack by St. Louis. Again, Rogers did the same thing as Perez. He kind of just stood still in the pocket, didn't move whatsoever, and then took a bad sack. Great play for the St. Louis defense getting that huge sack. It's about 10 yards right there. Let's see. Is it 10 yards exactly? He drops back. Yeah, it's about a 10-yard sack right there. That's a really bad one to take if you're Louisville, and Chandler Rogers especially. So it's about 2nd and 20 now, almost. Might call it 2nd and 18. They usually are pretty generous where they spot these. Yeah, they're very generous. That should have been a bit further back, but they're going to call it 2nd and 17. They will be forced to go for it still, so remember that. They do a little pitch play. Gets to the 50. Gets taken inside the 40. Big hit. Really good play. It's about a 10-yard gain right there, so it's going to be 3rd and 7. Now, this is not necessarily 4-down territory. Again, if you are at like the 40, I would say 44-yard line, you go for the field goal. You've got a kicker that can make it, so you don't need to get a first down here. Obviously, you want it, but it's fine not getting the first down as long as you get, like, I would say, like, let's say 3 more yards, if that. Probably, you want 2 or a first down. You don't want to gain, like, 5 yards, because then you're basically, like, in that dead man's lane where it's like, what are you going to do? Rogers throws deep to the right, and it is, oh, would have been a great play by Davidson. That could have been a touchdown, but he was not able to bring it in. That's, again, one of those that was very close to both of them. Are they going to kick it here? I mean, it's doable. This is a long kick, but you could do it. That play call makes it feel like you're going to go for it. This would be a long field goal, but I think that you're going to do it. I don't get why you do that play call if you're not going to go for the field goal here. So let's see. They're going for this? Wow, I'm not a fan of that. I don't get why you do a passing play like that if you're going to go for it on 4th down. That was a bad call right there by Redmond and Logan. Ball is snapped, and they fumble the snap! Oh, man, it's terrible. Oh, it's a fumble, snap, sack. That's turnover now. This is a terrible play call right there, man. Like I said, like sometimes it's like I talked about the back one, right? You got to think about outcomes. If you're going to go for a pass on 3rd down, you have to have decided we're going to kick it on 4th down because you have a kicker that can make it. So if you run the ball and get 3 yards, you're in, 60-yard field goal. Like that's not where you were at is not impossible for him to make. That's a really bad play call and then bad snap and all that. So St. Louis is going to get the ball back. Christian McCaffrey. 4-time Hall of Fame. Really? It was really good, though, if you're, certain other team. If you're the Battlehawks, you're very happy about that. It's really good if you're the Battlehawks, for sure. Mm. Still no luck on the trending. It's a shame. It is what it is, though. Yeah, that was is what Zach Davidson was not on my pick for the UFL team. Oh my god, this is crazy. And at midfield too. I really don't know what Louisville was doing there, not kicking the field goal there. Like 3rd and 8. You are at, if you're at the 45, that's a 63-yard field goal. Tanner Brown can make that, right? It's 4 points. He can make that. So if you're going to go for it on 4th down, just run it. Like either way, running it was the call. I don't like the decision to pass it and then say we're going to go for it again anyway. It didn't make sense. Like I get that he may have seen him, but like it was a bad call, man. Should have ran it and then kicked the field goal or said we're going to go for it on 4th down. We're going to do something else. You have Tanner Brown, man. Like, if you have Tanner Brown and Matt McCrane, it's different. Like, if you're the Battlehawks, that's different. You have Reese Ahmed, you're not fully convinced that he's going to make the 40-yard field goal or 60-yard field goal. I fully understand, being a bit different. But with where you were, the Kings, you really should have been playing for that 4-point field goal. Because if you were up 15-10, that's a pretty big deal. Instead, now St. Louis is going to get the ball back in good field position again. And they are close to field goal range, but it is what it is. Yeah, that was some bad play calling. 100% agree. Like, yeah, the snap was bad and all that, but even if that was a good snap, he would have gotten taken down anyway. Like, even if that snap was good, he still would have been snapped like that or sacked. So, not good. No bueno right there for that team. I mean, I agree. Like, you run the ball and you get 2 yards. Like, you had a 4-yard cushion to where you could gain yardage but not lose out on the 4-point field goal. So I really, and even if you wanted to go for it on 4th down, if you run it and gain 3 yards, now it's only like, 4th and 5, but whatever. Might haunt them. Again, we'll see. 1st and 10 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Ball snapped. They hand it off. And it's going to be about a 1.5-yard gain for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Little Travis Feeney, iconic Battlehawk. He's been there for years, man. I think he has been there since 23. And he's an AF guy. Remember, AF, I believe he was on the Fleet with Gidna, I believe. Ball is snapped. Throws it over the middle. It is caught by, I believe it's Sal Canella, and it's going to be about a 7-yard gain on the play. What he did right there would have been a flag in the NFL. The NFL would have immediately thrown a flag on him for that. 3rd and 1 for the Battlehawks. Now, if you're the Battlehawks, this is 4-down territory. Like, this is where you don't kick it, you go for it in 4th down. You have 2 plays to gain a yard. See, like, if you're the Battlehawks here, again, you can throw it here and then run it because you can get the 1st down. But let's see what they do here in shotgun. They do just decide to hand it off, and they get stopped immediately and lose half a yard. I would still probably go for it here. This is still very short, 4th and 2. It's technically a little bit longer than a yard. I think going for this here is the right call. With Reese Ahmed, it's a bit of a questionable kick. This is still going to be about like a 57-ish yard field goal. So you're not necessarily doing like a super easy kick and it's 3 points versus 4. I think going for this is the right call. Even if you don't get it, you just stop Louisville anyway, so you're feeling good on defense. I like this decision to go for it by the Battlehawks. And they gave him a really generous spot. Let's see, are they going to call it offsides or false start? Calling it offsides is a 1st down for St. Louis. Bad penalty taken for Louisville. That's a terrible one, Shake. That's a bad one to take, especially when they're not lined up under center. If they're lined up under center and you take that, I can see that. But when they're lined up in shotgun, you have that extra split second to make a move. That was a bad penalty to take. 1st and 10. Might see a play before a 2-minute warning. Might not. We'll see. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. Hand it off inside, and they get about 4.5 yards in the carry. Last play before 2-minute warning right there. Two new notifications. And some random stuff. Got it. Myles Garrett in the LA Dodgers. Made him look true. I believe that's pretty much it on the major sports today. I think that's it. I mean, man, I got a lot of them today, but I believe that's it. 143 offensive yards. It's 11-10. 2-minute warning game. Remember, Louisville doesn't get the ball half. So for those of you that have joined recently, didn't see the very beginning of the game because of the end, Louisville is going to get the ball at half. St. Louis got the ball, went turnover on downs. So Louisville does have that in their back pocket, that they do have that slight advantage that they will get the ball back at the half. So even if St. Louis scores, it's not the biggest, deal in the world, but we'll see. Let's stop. Well, I mean, hey, even if you force them to a field goal, you'll probably take that as the Kings. Like, if you can just force the kick, that's fine, because there is a shot that Ahmed misses. But we'll see. What? Okay, we're seeing some random stuff on here. Anthony Beck is like sort of trending. That's hilarious. Anthony Beck can't win a playoff game of his life, and they're just showing the same thing. Oh my gosh. Let's see, 2nd and 5 for the Battlehawks. Ball is snapped. Quick throw to the left. It is caught for the first down up to the 20, the 15, and he's going to be out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Aaron Donald, looking at his old helmet. Oh my gosh. Man, if Aaron Donald comes back, I mean, granted, he's not going to be as good as he was just because he's retired. I know he's in great shape, but he retired. But he's still, even if he's like, 70% of what he was, I mean, that's still going to be huge, man. That team's going to be crazy. 1st and 10 for the Battlehawks. We got a little under 2 minutes left. Louisville should be able to get one more drive out in this half, no matter what. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. Perez is rolling. Throws it, caught in the middle of the field, and it's a touchdown. St. Louis has the lead, 16-11, with 1:48 seconds left in the first half. We won't get the attendance till probably the 4th quarter. The Orlando one, we got a little over 6K. We won't get this one till the 4th quarter. But it's a lead for St. Louis. Probably gonna go for one here again to make it keep it a 6-point game, and then Louisville will have a shot to try and score a touchdown. They got 3 timeouts, 2 minutes, more than enough time to score a touchdown. We'll see. That's big right there. 5-point game right now. So they get the extra point. It'll be a 6-point game. That's the benefit of the 4-point field goal. Even if you end up being on the losing end of the scoreboard, you're 1 point closer, meaning you don't need the extra point to make this a tie game. That's a huge thing for them. Kick is up. It is good. He turns it on in the playoffs. At least most of the time, because 2022 he was in the playoffs, but 2023 really good. I mean, right now, looking decent. Not looking incredible today. There's been a couple really suspect plays, but he's been looking better than he has the last couple weeks, which is what they needed. They did not need him to be 23 Perez level. They needed him to just be better than what he was. And that's what he's doing right now, which is what they need. And they're able to get some stops in Louisville. This is a big drive for Louisville because they can do the back-to-back. If they're able to back-to-back score, they can not only get the lead back, but then they can potentially score again at the start of the second half, which would be huge for them, but we'll see. 1:48 seconds left in the half. See the beach balls being hit on the back? That's great. 1:48 seconds. Battlehawks got the lead. Got the 6-point lead. Gotta love it if you're a Battlehawks fan homeless. I know you are. Would it be funny in the battle if that DC won in St. Louis and it would be, that would be hilarious. I mean, either way, we've got a great matchup. Like, honestly, I thought I thought Orlando Louisville was the weakest potential matchup. I understand the OT game. I thought that was going to be the worst matchup, if that was. DC versus either of these two teams has so many great storylines. So no matter what, should be a great championship game for sure, at least storyline. St. Louis, they were able to get that touchdown. Now we're going to see what Louisville can do here. This is what it's like to be a Cowboys fan. Oh my gosh. First ever lead in a playoff game. I wouldn't be shocked. They may have had a early lead in one of the other games, but it's definitely up there. First and 10 in shotgun. Yeah, I mean, the big rivalry game in the championship would be crazy. Ball is snapped. Throws it. Incomplete pass for on the first down play. Now, you do got to be careful here because St. Louis still has 2 timeouts left. If you don't get a first down here, St. Louis could potentially score again. Remember, the clock stops on first downs until you're able to have the chains reset and snap the ball. So there is a very, very real likelihood they could score again if they're not able to get something here. So you got to be very careful if you're at Louisville. You can't just not do anything here. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. Pass thrown to the left. Incomplete. Is looking really bad for Louisville right here. 3rd and 10. Now, you're going to be forced to, you have to get the first down here, but again, this is the one issue with why you would have maybe wanted to run the ball on first down. Because now you have to get the first down, or else St. Louis is going to get the ball with about like a minute 30 left, which is way more than enough time. 20 minutes time possession is crazy. The first half, sure. Good old Anthony Beck losing another playoff game. Again, I view that as 4. Week 9 was a playoff game against the Dragons. That's 4 playoff losses. That's really bad. Pass to the right. It's caught. Gets to the field. First down, Louisville. It's a huge first down for Louisville. If they didn't get that, that would have been really bad. That's a big one right there. Yeah, I know Adam was saying that. I think that he is right, King. I think this might be their first time ever. Like, they may have held an immediate lead in the San Antonio game for like a second, but I think this, even if you count the Dragons game, I think this is their first lead ever. Out of bounds by Lucky Jackson for about 7 yards. Because like, they got beat pretty badly in those other 3 games, so this probably is. That was a great play right there. Lucky Jackson, Isaiah Winstead, Drake Black. This receiving core is so good. 2nd and 5 for the Louisville Kings. Not in field goal range yet. They still are a decent ways away from field goal range. But they're not too far. Ball snap. They fake the handoff. Quick throw to the left. It is caught. Goes upfield. Ooh, is he going to be down for shy of the first down? He is. They got to be quick here. You might call timeout. No, I wouldn't. I would quick snap this. Quick snap for the rush. I'd probably snap this with about a minute left. Maybe a minute 05 if you can. Just go for the first down. And it's a first down. I love that. It's a great play call. Get the first down. About 4 yards in the QB sneak. Great play. Now you can, take a little bit of time. You can just do this. I wouldn't be using the timeouts yet. I would be saving them right now. You don't have to call them. I think you'll call timeout there. I mean, okay, it is what it is. I wouldn't have used it there, but that's fine. So they use their timeout. They're about, literally 10 yards away from field goal range right now. Yeah, docu-series sneak peek. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I believe it is this Wednesday is going to be episodes 3 and 4, 4th and goal. And the week after that, we'll have 1 episode for the playoffs, and then the week after will be a championship, I believe. Minute 5 seconds left. Louisville is down by 6 currently. 1st and 10. Winner faces DC in DC for the United Bowl and for the UFL championship. Let's see what happens here. Ricky Pearl having some drinks. 8 of 13 for Chandler Rogers right now. Quick throw to the right. It is caught. It's going to be about a 6.5 yard gain. Going for a play here. They're not going to call a timeout. I do like that. I like that. You got to eat some clock. You got to be very careful not to use too much clock or not use too little because, again, you don't want St. Louis to get the ball back. First down gets you field goal range for all intents and purposes. Pass thrown deep in the middle. Wide open. Caught up to the 25. The coverage got blown bad. Trey McKitty with a great play right there. I don't know what happened. The defense just disappeared right there. They just allowed a wide open McKitty in the middle of the field. Huge first down play for St. Louis. For Louisville. That's a bad play right there by Louisville. I mean, by St. Louis's defense. St. Louis defense just got beat really bad there. Like, look at that, man. There was nobody even, like, within... When he threw the ball, there was no one within, like, 8 yards of him. That's a bad play by the defense. That safety should have bit... The cornerback on the far top receiver was behind him, so the safety should have saw that he needed to go down. I understand you don't want to fully get rid of your area, but at that moment, he should have cut earlier. But yeah, and that is also a bad timeout call by Louisville. I will say that was a bad timeout. That's like a Ricky Prohl timeout. You got to remember the clock stops on first downs within 2 minutes, and it only resets once the chains are moved and all that. You had 2 timeouts left. The first one, I get it. That one is a wasted timeout. You could have called for a spike, or you could have just done something, wasted 5 seconds. Not a fan of using a timeout there. Now St. Louis is calling a timeout themselves. Now, if you're Louisville, you got to go for the touchdown. You got 41 seconds left to go for the touchdown here. Almost equal in total yardage. Crazy thing considering the time possession is so heavily in favor of St. Louis. But again, you had that huge 53-yard rush by James Robinson, so makes sense, you know. Granted, outside of that rush, they have not done that much on the ground. They have like less than 20 yards on the ground when you eliminate that long rush, which is pretty bad. First and 10 for the Louisville Kings here. I'm going to gift each other timeouts, true. First and 10 for the Louisville Kings. Cannot turn the ball over. That's the only thing you cannot do is turn the ball over. Ball snap. The quick throw to the left. It is caught in the screen. They're going to do the double pass to the right side. Oh, it's intercepted. Oh, that's intercepted by Sims. They tried to get cute with the trick play, and it's intercepted in the end zone. That's the one thing you could not do is turn it over. They had the man beat, but it was a bad throw. He underthrew the ball by about like 5 yards. That's an interception for St. Louis. That's huge. St. Louis, again, their timeout now also hurts because they had it. They have a much better shot at getting the field goal range. They might just kneel it into the half, which you'll still take if you're St. Louis. That's bad. He had him in the end zone. He just missed the throw, man. That's a great interception as well. That just saved 3 points right there at least. What a play. That's a great play by Sims. That's a great interception. He tipped it to himself. That's a perfect interception. And St. Louis gets that. For those of you who just heard the penalty, that is on St. Louis after the interception. So they're still getting the interception. They're just going to kneel it. Now, there's no reason to go for it. Here with 33 seconds left. If you were where you were, I could see it, but no. Yeah, Fox is definitely a lot better than ESPN for sure. Like, I like the ESPN thing at the bottom where it shows who's talking, but aside from that, like, no. That's a rough one for the Kings. They tried to get cute there. We're not able to get it, man. That's a run. That's a great interception, but that's a really, really questionable play call for Louisville. That was a go for broke moment, and I mean, if that throw was a bit better, that would have been a touchdown. But great play by St. Louis right there. St. Louis now up 17-11. And we are heading into the second half now. So that is the end of the first half. So end of the first half. Louisville is going to be down. St. Louis has the lead 17-11. They have the lead. Louisville does get the ball to start the half. So that is the one benefit if you are Louisville is you do have that advantage going for you that you know, not all is lost because of that. So that's your one real silver lining if you're a Louisville fan. But not what you want though. That's for sure. Mm. 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 Louisville time possession 10 minutes. That's bad. That's bad. That sucks for Louisville, man. But it's huge for St. Louis. St. Louis has the lead again. A lead in a playoff game for St. Louis, that just doesn't happen. I picked the Kings to win this game. Right now, this is a game like it's like I said in the game picks video, man. If you're betting on this, you're down bad. Like this is a game you should not bet on because this could be any score, any lead. Like there really is no educated guess because the way these two teams are, how they've played in the past, the like aura, the theories. It's just like I'm gonna stick with my pick of the Kings winning just because I'm sticking with my pick. But I said in that game picks video, this could literally be any score, and I would buy it the way these two teams are. But right now, St. Louis got the lead. They're winning a time possession battle, and that's the biggest reason why they're winning this game 17-11. Then we have DC players. Also, what we talked about in the last stream, I do agree. I think that whoever wins this game probably wins the title. DC dealing with the injuries. It's just, Let's fire squad up. In a second half battle. I mean, that first drive for Louisville is going to be a huge deciding factor because if Louisville is able to score a touchdown on that opening drive, it is going to give them a lot of extra, it's going to help them out a lot because they're going to get the lead back. It's going to, sort of say, like, hey, we still got this. We left more points on the board than they did. And that mental battle will be being won by Louisville. But naturally, St. Louis has the lead now. If they get a stop, it's going to be huge. So we'll see. I can see DC winning it all again. Honestly, even if it's St. Louis or DC, I just think that with DC's injuries, I just think the Battlehawks have a real good shot at doing it. Like, I really do think that it's whoever wins this game probably wins it all. I just have the feeling. Again, DC, never count them out with the home field advantage. I do understand that. They have the championship experience, so that's something that neither of these two teams have. But I just think that the way it is, like the way the season's gone, it feels like whoever wins this game gets it done, but we'll see. Yeah, if the Battlehawks do win, it looks really bad for Anthony Beck for sure. That's really bad for Beck, especially because he was the one that was like the real favorite. Like I said, the Battlehawks should have been the underdog in this game, but they weren't just because they were Battlehawks. But Beck was the favorite and should have been even bigger favorite. So rough, but I will be back in a second. I'm gonna not hold it into the very last second, so I will be back in a couple minutes. Alright, we back. We back. Oh yeah, the championship game definitely should be sold out. With DC making it, man, I mean, it definitely should be a sold out game for sure. 100% agree with that. Showing the preview for the next episode of 4th and Goal. The Gold's head game. Mike Ray will take notes, man. Him and Diana Rossini, oh my god. Gotta love it. Mike Rabel got more crap for that than like what Josh Jacobs did. I get allegedly did, but still, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy when you think about it. AJ, hey, true. We believe in conspiracy theories. True. $190. $260 to $300. Oh my gosh. I picked the Kings to win it. I don't want to change my pick just to change it. So I'm still gonna say the Kings, even though I'm not like really like convinced they're gonna do it. Like right now, because of how this game's been going, but I don't want to just change my pick for the sake of, you know, changing my pick to be that guy. You know what I mean? At least that's how I feel about it. And he never just because I was coaching, he's supposed to be the model guy. I never see Andy Reid or Tom McVay sneaking around journalists help their team. I will say, I thought that was hilarious. Remember that one joke people said, like, talking about, like, oh, it's a female reporter, it's, like, a big deal, and then, like, somebody was like, yeah, because if, you know, what was it, like, if Ian Rappaport got caught sleeping with Andy Reid, it wouldn't be a big story. Like, that was a hilarious response tweet I saw, or whatever it was. Yeah, I mean, look, the law system, the way things are, it's always messed up. Like, how is Rashid Rice getting more punishment for smoking some weed versus being, like, partially responsible for, like, literally killing a couple people or whatever ended up happening? You know, it's crazy how it works, but yeah. Pizzagate. Hey, Pizzagate was a classic, man. That was a classic. That's an iconic one right there. Pizzagate was special, man. If you were around for that time, United by Football, that was special. I'm sorry, bro. I don't care how respectful you were. You had the balls to ask for pizza instead of chicken salad. Oh man, Kirby Wilson must like legit like not like, you know, having fun. That's got to be his favorite food ever, chicken salad. Like there's no way that chicken salad is not Kirby Wilson's favorite food ever. Or else, are you serious? You really cut a dude for chicken salad? Like, if that's your favorite food ever, like, damn, bro, I guess. You know what I mean? But crazy, man. That was crazy. That was hilarious. That was one of the greatest things ever graced our TV. Devion Smith just sitting there in his Mauler's jersey, like, what the hell is going on? Man, had the balls to ask for some decent food instead of chicken salad. Gotta love it, man. I mean, I'm trying to think if there was anything even close to that. Unusual player treatment in prison. Hope. Oh my gosh. Rashee Rice. What a joke, man. NFL, man, doesn't matter what you. Again, like Henry Ruggs might be on the field in a couple of years, right? I mean, if he can still play, somebody will sign him. Never say never. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if he comes out and actually plays for a team? Oh my god. That'd be bad. Like, God forbid the Panthers were to sign him, I might stop being a fan. Like that would be an unfathomable level of like, what are we doing if somebody were to sign Henry Ruggs after what he did. But you never know. You never know with football, especially football. You really never know how it'll happen. But yeah, I gave up years ago. Yeah, it's like it's always picked and choosing what's a big deal. The wheel of discipline is, everybody's joked about it, where, it doesn't matter what you do. It's literally like they're just throwing a dart at a dartboard, and it's like, there's your punishment. Crazy. And be home Pizzagate, oh my gosh. Watch the UFL more than the NFL. Start of the third quarter. We're about to start the third quarter. So, it is 17-11, St. Louis over Louisville. Both teams have their challenges. Louisville is going to get the ball to start the half. The winner of this game will be facing the DC Defenders at Audi Field, which is obviously in DC. So we'll see what happens here. Louisville had a couple of very, very questionable decision-making issues in that last couple of drives, deciding not to go for the field goal, the 4-point field goal with Tanner Brown, doing the trick play for the touchdown, and ended up not working. There is a very valid argument that Louisville has left 11 points on the board. Now, vice versa, there was a 4th and 1 St. Louis arguably should have gone for it. Had they gone for it, we'll see what happens. Louisville's more direct. Louisville, at the very least, did leave at least a field goal on the board, which was bad. St. Louis has been dominating time possession despite not really playing that good on the ground. It's been more so that Louisville has been able to do nothing, and Luis Perez is playing overall solid, so we'll see. True. You get caught gambling on a game, it's like the biggest crime ever. And I'm like, dude, if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to have 18 sponsorships with these different gambling companies and then the player ends up gambling on a game, like, are you really shocked? Like, return is up to about the 30-yard line for the Louisville Kings. I just hate how much they want to be paid for like being okay. Like when you got like Dak Prescott like trying to hold out, or Jacoby Brissett holding out, it's like, dude, really? Like, oh my god. Let's see what Louisville does here. And they got the huge benefit that they were able to, get the ball to start this half. Let's see if they can do something with this drive. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. They do a sort of delayed handoff. Robinson cuts back to the right. Chandler Rogers tries to fake a block. Ends up working. Ends up losing a couple yards. In fact, if he had just gone down when he first got touched, I believe he would have technically gained more yards by only losing like 1 yard instead of losing like 2 yards. So, overall, not a good play right there for the Kings. They're trying to cut around, just not working out. Rough one right there. 2nd and 12 for the Louisville Kings now. In shotgun, 2 receivers to both sides of the ball. Ball is snapped. Throws to the left. Wow, bad throw by Rogers. Incomplete. (17-11) right now. Still on 3rd down now for the Kings. Lucky Jackson. Look at the St. Louis crowd going. 3rd and 12. If St. Louis is able to get a quick 3 and out like that, that's going to be really huge for them. Third and 12. Ball is snapped. Rogers rolling to the right. He's going to run for it. And he slides. He's looking for a flag. He's not going to get it. I'm going to be honest. I like the no call. That felt like fishing for a flag, and that is not how you should be playing football. I think that was egregious fishing for a flag. He knew damn well he wasn't getting the first down. He tried to slide in a time where it would force them to do something, and now they're punting. I'm very glad they didn't throw a flag there. Punt is up. It is going to be recovered initially, returned initially at about the 18-yard line. Gets to the 20, the 25, and is going to be down at about the 27-yard line right there. Look at Ricky, man. 13 minutes left in the third quarter. Quick 2-minute drive right there. Overall solid if you're the Battlehawks. I mean, you take that any day of the week. That's a great play right there for them. Nothing stops Ram. Okay, buddy, sure. Again, the match should be getting a fifth playoff LA proxy. You're not wrong. I mean, I would not be against that. That's what I would say. I would not be against giving him a fifth loss by proxy. That would be pretty bad, man. Let's see this guy. Nice to see the drone operator finally flying over the side this time. Oh my gosh. 99 total passing yards, 70 rushing yards. With helpful hardware, folks. Some random stuff we're hearing right now in these commercials. Paraguay versus the U.S. Why do I have a feeling we're going to lose that game? Like, in all honesty, why do I have a feeling that we're going to choke that game and somehow lose it? Like, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I think we're somehow going to lose that game. We have no business losing that game, and we're going to lose that game. I just got that feeling, man. We'll see. The matchup was different. Orlando versus Louisville. Orlando would have still lost, man. Orlando's just, they're not built for this, man. That's Orlando. They're just not built for it, man. Like, I hate to say it, but it's true. They're just not built for it. So I think they'd be cooked no matter what. In shotgun ball, snap, they hands it off, cuts inside, gets about 3 yards in the carry. And if it's DC versus St. Louis, that would have been a good one. That would have been a tough one. But I think that, because that wouldn't have been the same way. Like, I think if St. Louis makes the title game, they're winning. But I would have been a tough one. But yeah. 2nd and 7 now for the St. Louis Battlehawks. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. Pass throw to the left. It is caught. Tries to get inside. First down, Hakeem Butler, and then some. He gets an extra, like, 6 yards for sure. The DC fraudsters. Will be so boring. I feel like we've seen it. Change the defense would be cool, though. Caught the left. Great play by Hakeem Butler. Was able to get that first down, then some extra yards. That was a great play by him. Hey, it's just the playoff Beck, man. Playoff Beck is something else. That's the rough thing to watch, is that. Hey, you can finally do that. They got custom jerseys finally on the UFL shop. It's probably just going to be like, the regular, things just, not like stitched, but it's still going to be a jersey that you can get custom finally. After all these years, man. 2nd and 6 for the Battlehawks after the first down, 4-yard gain. About 11.5 minutes left right now. The Kings do. In shotgun. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. Ball is snapped. Throws to the right. It is going to be incomplete. Great play by the Kings defense right there. Going to be 3rd and 6 now. They have not crossed midfield, so they still can punt it if they're not able to get anything. But if they do gain like even a yard, maybe it's a yard and a half, they will be forced to go for it in 4th down. 3rd and 6 for the Battlehawks. Under 11 minutes left in the game in the 3rd quarter now. Gamblers had the best uniforms in the league, in my opinion. They were worried too much and looked good to play. And it's going to be a St. Louis timeout here. Third and 6 for the St. Louis Battlehawks after the timeout. Let's see this. Marvin knows that you W tweet like clockwork, yeah. Finally, after the timeout, 3rd and 6. 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 2 at the top of your screen. Running back is going now to the top of the screen. Nope, still to the left of Perez in the backfield with him. Louisville showing blitz. They sort of fake the blitz, throw to the right. It is caught by Sal Cannella for the 1st down. Goes out of bounds. Sal Cannella, man's having a great game right now today. But there is a flag. Let's see what this flag is. Wow, they're really going to call that taunting, man? Soft. 15 yards. Oh, my gosh. 15-yard penalty because he spun the ball. Like, bro, what are we doing here, man? We really just BSing. Like, dude, it's so true. Like, as a society, we're allowing it to be like you're not allowed to show any emotion whatsoever. It's like, dude, that's a 15-yard penalty because he spun the ball at the dude's feet. Like, what are we doing? That's a terrible call. Like, unsportsmanlike conduct should be egregiously unsportsmanlike. Something like that, like, dude, that's just being in the heart of the game. Like, come on. So it is 1st and 10, but they end up losing extra yardage because of the penalty. So it should be 1st and 25 technically, but I don't think they're going to do that. Well, no, it should just be 1st and... Yeah. Let's see what happens here. 1st and 10, but they're all the way back up at their 43-yard line. And they're going to lose about a yard in the play right there. And I do believe, based on the rules, they should be forced to go for it on 4th down because they did cross the 50. I think even with the penalty and that changing, it still should be that way. We'll see for sure if we get to that scenario, but I do believe they should be forced to go for 4th down no matter what. If not, that is a egregious rule that you can be abused if somebody really tries it. 2nd and 10. Ball is snapped. They hand it off to Howard, who gets taken down for about a 3.5-yard carry right there. 3rd down and about 6. Third and 5 for the Battlehawks. 9.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers at the top of your screen, 3 at the bottom of your screen. Perez by himself in the backfield. Ball is snapped. Throws to the left. It is. Ooh, that was almost a pick six by Louisville. That was almost a huge pick six. Instead, it's 4th and 5. They should be forced to go for it here because they did cross midfield. I understand the 1st and 10 was weird, but they should be forced to go for it here. That was almost a incredible pick six. He jumped the route, but it was just like that close, man. Cover bit of player is allowed to flex on me. Yeah, man, it's terrible. It's terrible how they do that. Wow, they should not be allowed to punt here. That's a really egregious use of the rule. Like, I get the penalty reset them, but they already did cross the 50. The whole idea is even with penalties, that's I'm not a fan of that. I get the argument that the UFL will make based on the rules, but that's one of those things where it's just that's a bit effed up, not gonna lie. Not a fan of that, but you know what it is, what it is. Saying Louisville is gonna get the ball back. Nasty proving that he has not watched every single stream with that, because you know damn well I've been rooting for the Kings to win this championship for about 5 weeks now. Thank you, Dean, especially if you're not even going to stick by those said rules. Now, like, look, I understand the argument. The argument that is based on the official is that it is once you cross the 50 after a first down. At the same token, though, like, you're making it to where, like, you're not really getting punished for a penalty in that regard. Because, yes, you did take the penalty, but you already got the first down. So instead of potentially being forced to go for it on 4th down and turn the ball over, you're now allowed to punt. Like, it's just, like, I get it, but this is where the nuances of the rule are showing why it is a tough rule to really implement in, let's say, the NFL. The 4-point field goal, you can easily implement that in the NFL with almost no changes. This one you really can't because, like, it is exploitable, and that was proven right there that was definitely exploited. But, you know, like, what are you going to do? Not a fan of that, but what are you going to do? Let's go, Louisville, says Christopher. Even that favorite, I still want to punch penalty, you know. Yeah, like, again, I understand why it works. I do, but yeah. The No Fun League, the man has paid his dues. Never forget, him and Max Duggan were on, like, the same team, and Max Duggan got thoroughly outplayed by Luis Perez, and the Battlehawks were like, let's go with Max Duggan. Yikes, that was bad. Diaz screwed St. Louis all year. That was nice. Knew the rules. I will say, knowing the rules, I don't know about that. Ever since that incident with Shannon Harris, they said you can't challenge a pre-snap penalty. I'm like, dude, these guys know the rules. Or what was it? What was Mike Pereira, right? Who was like looking at a play and he was literally viewing it based on 2 feet in bounds, like 2 feet in bounds, even though the rule is 1. Like, man, I don't even know if the officials know the rules of this league anymore. Yeah, we got some unks in the UFL. Perez, Teamu. Some guys that have been around for a minute. That just looks okay. Looks good. Not like incredible, but it looks okay. 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in the quarter. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. They hand it off, and it's going to be a first down rush and then some to the 15, to the 30. That's about a 23-yard rush right there for the Louisville Kings. A huge play by James Robinson. He almost got stopped pretty early and said he was able to get a huge gain right there. That's massive for the Battlehawks. I mean, for the Kings. Let's see. Notification indicate. Good to know. Yeah, that's some funny stuff. 1st and 10 for the Louisville Kings after the huge rush play by James Robinson. Or Ian Wheeler, I should say. Ball snap, they hand it off. It's going to be about a 3-yard gain right there for the Louisville Kings. Panthers potentially might not be bad. It'll be interesting to see what Perez does. Like, I mean, hey, if you go back, you get a nice payday for a couple of weeks. Like, even if you're only there for, like, let's say, like, a month and a half, and you're on practice squad, and, you know, that you still get a decent paycheck for just kind of vibing there. Like, you'll take that. 2nd and 7 now for the Kings. Halfway through the third quarter. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. And it's going to be about a 4-yard gain. Going to be about 3, or technically 4 yards here for this one. Corey Chamberlain. I mean, he really could be a head coach on a team easily. Hell, if he coached the Storm, they probably win the playoff game today. Not going to lie. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Kings still down by 6 points. Both teams still have their challenge. St. Louis is down to 2 timeouts in this quarter, or in this half. Louisville still has all 3. In shotgun, 3rd and 4. Ball is snapped. Throws to the left, caught for the first down. And then some, breaks the move, gets to the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20. And he gets tackled at the ankles down to about the 12-yard line. Incredible play right there by the Louisville Kings. That was some... Honestly, that DB really ruined that. Number one, he allowed him to get the easy first down curl, and then he got the first down curl, and then he just got right past him. Great play by the Kings receiver. That was a bad play by St. Louis' DB right there. What was that, Winstead? The guy that should have been all UFL. Like, if I had to vote, I probably would have given Badger the spot, but I arguably would have given it to Winstead. I don't know. Just, he was better than Chris Rowland, and we're seeing that today as well, because that's a huge play right there. Ball is snapped. They hand it off inside. St. Louis able to get a quick stop, only a 2-yard gain. That's what you need to do right there. With their QB room. Oh, no, not the Steelers QB room, bro. That would be the Unk QB room, bro. I mean, that would make sense for all the Unks there. Oh, my God. 2nd and 8 for the Louisville Kings now with 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Two receivers at the top of your screen. They got one at the bottom of your screen. Tight end is also to the top as well, for what it's worth. In shotgun, ball is snapped. Throws to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown by Isaiah Winstead again. The guy that really should have been all UFL over Chris Rowland gets the touchdown. Gets the touchdown. Carolina essentially cost us points, or Canella. Yeah, I mean, to an extent, yeah. Like I said, the refs, like, that's so stupid. Like, I really hate that was a penalty. Like, he spun the ball. Like, oh my God, he almost killed the DB by throwing the ball at his feet like that. Like, that was a weak call. Yeah, Ellen Sports contact penalty. I agree. Kick is up. It is good. Louisville is back to a 1-point lead. I agree. It was a weak call. It shouldn't have been a call. But yeah. Dude, Isaiah Winstead, man, he is so good this year. He really should have been an over Rowland. Like, I still, even looking back at it again, I really don't understand how Rowland got that spot. Like, Isaiah Winstead played 8 games, and through 8 games was, like, literally only Akeem Butler, I think, would have had a higher yards per game. Like, it's crazy, but yeah. Yeah, it looked like another great game for sure. I watch a few videos here and there, just not like the non-UFL ones, though. Was he able to pin Louisville inside their own 10 and still allow a score touchdown? I mean, hey. It was a great... I mean, this is a great job by Louisville. This is exactly what Louisville needed to do, was have a truly great drive, and they were able to pull that off. Like, that's what you wanted to do if you're Louisville. You gladly take it, and now you have the 1-point lead. Now, you do have to get a stop on the St. Louis, which has been not the best. So, you do got that going for you if you are St. Louis, but we'll see. We will see for sure. Jason Bean versus Bakapia took his job. That, honestly, yeah, that's what I really love this matchup. The potential matchup is because of that. Like, it's such a good matchup to have. I mean, the former starter versus the other one. I mean, come on, man. But we will see. Let's go over here, over here. Viva Beer Snake says W Veer. Let's keep looking. Let's keep looking at some stuff. They're showing the semifinal. They're showing both of the ones where they lost. Oh no. Showing a couple of rough games for the Battlehawks right there. A bit mean, but you know, it is what it is. Isaiah Winstead, huge play. Nelly Corda won it again. Didn't she like just win the last major as well? They run turn it to the left. It's gonna be at the 35-yard line right there. Isaiah Winstead. Timberwolves with a new logo. Bruh. Iowa Wolves. Oh, okay, it's the B team. Okay. That was the Timberwolves changing their logo, and I'm like, of course they are. Or did they? I think they did change it anyway. Oh, no. They did, bro. They just want to get all this money. It's crazy. How many games? Oh my gosh. You watch AEW? I do watch it to an extent. I think that both AEW and WWE are on lows right now, and I do think AEW is on a low. A lot of people are saying it's not. I think it's not. It's not nearly as low as WWE. WWE is on a really rough stretch, but I think AEW is not as hot as it was like a year ago. But it's a matter of like they're not sucking as bad as WWE. Like right now, AAA is probably the best product you can watch, which is WWE. But AEW is definitely a lot better than, or AEW is doing better than WWE right now. But the pay-per-views, man, if they keep doing pay-per-views, they're never gonna be huge. They rush up the middle. Jarvin Howard with a huge right through, right in the middle. Gets to about the 45-yard line. Great play for him. That's about about a 13-yard rush for Jarvin Howard right there. Huge play from the first down. Any score here is going to be huge for them. It depends. I mean, technically, all their years they were the higher seed. They were the highest seed every year. But they also lost the Dragons game. I don't remember if that was at home. I think they may have been at home. But they've always lost the games they have no business losing. Just the Anthony back away. 1st and 10 in shotgun. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. Breaks through. Gets the first down. Gets the 30. The 25. About the 24-yard line. Oh, man. It's great to play right there. That's another huge rush by Howard. Back-to-back good ones. Oh, it was at home. Yeah, that's basically 3 games. Because I think they were the team that if they won, they clinched. So they were the higher seed. So 4 times in a row. Great play right there with Jarvin Howard. That's what you want to see from him. That's what we missed in the regular season. He was super inconsistent in the regular season. He would break up a 10-yard rush, then it would be back-to-back 1.5, 2-yard rushes. If he's doing this, they got a real shot at winning this game. They hand it off again. Cuts inside. I believe it's Keelan James this time. It's going to be about a 3.5-yard gain, but there is a flag. Let's see what this flag is. It's going to be a face mask on somebody. Offense? Ooh, that's bad. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty on the offense. Yep, 15-yard penalty on the offense for the face mask. We got 18 minutes and 20 seconds left in the entire game right now. St. Louis is down by 1 point due to the Tanner Brown 4-point field goal. Oh, there's the one. Yeah, they're showing the wrong one. Yeah, that's a clear face mask right there. First and 25. Ball is snapped. Throw it to the left. down to about the 40-yard line. They're going to lose about a yard. There's going to be 2nd and 26 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Second and 26 now for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter. In shotgun. Three receivers at the bottom of your screen. One top, ball snapped. Perez throws a dump off to Jarvian Howard, who cuts inside. Great tackle by whoever that was in Louisville, was able to break off his man and get the tackle. That just saved them at least another 8 yards. Kubitz with a great play for Louisville. That's going to be 3rd and about 23, they're saying. Huge play right there. And they're going to be forced to kick it here because they ain't going to go for it on, 3rd and 20. So this is going to be a super long field goal attempt if they're able to stop him quickly. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, 2 up top. Perez cannot take a sack here. If he takes a sack, they're going to make it a really tough field goal for Ahmed. And you do not want to turn over on downs. Pass turn over the middle, great catch. And it's going to be down. It's about an 8-yard gain, makes it a much easier field goal. But it is still going to be a field goal for the St. Louis Battlehawks. 4th, 13, going to kick the field goal now. Let's see if they can make this kick. This make it a 2-point lead for St. Louis if this is good. 45-yard attempt for Ramiz Ahmed. Guy's been kicking for a while in spring football. Let's see. Kick is up. And it is good. So it's going to be a 2-point lead for the St. Louis Battlehawks. 20-18 is the score currently. St. Louis has the lead. Now you got about 16 and a half minutes left in the entire game right now. Oh, that's right. That's why Nelly's trending. Kalashi, oh my gosh. Yeah, no more unnecessary penalties. Hmm. 8 new posts. May not. I see. So isn't that okay? So that's the official rulebook. Okay, so there's looking at the rulebook. Official rulebook means that if the play is able to be done, then it counts. So that's why that one was not done. So if you're wondering about that penalty or about why they were able to punt it, because technically they never were actually able to get a playoff. So that was the correct rule, 100%. Tyrese promotion to go for the league. I'll take the Rock. Oh God. Who will win is a tough call. I mean, it's a 2-point lead for St. Louis. You got about a minute left in the third quarter. I'm not going against my pick of Louisville, but this is going to be a really close one for sure. John Cena with the classic China meme. Bing Chilling classic. Iconic, bro. It's a miracle about Skechers. Okay, sure, buddy. And we got 2 good playoff games. I mean, this is back-to-back really good playoff games for sure. We'll get him an extension. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, we got 2 good playoff games. I mean, these are both... I mean, when I do my playoff game tier list, these are both going to be up there. Like, the DC one, not as high. They're both, I would say, solid games. I think these are both probably B-tier games. I would say. At least that's my gut reaction. And we still have a full quarter left. This game could easily change. But I would say they're both probably B-tier games right now. The beach balls are still being hit in the background. Oh, my God. Winner faces DC in the United Bowl. In DC, we either get the big rivalry again, or we get the battle of the quarterbacks. Returners up to the 10, the 20, gets to the 30, cuts back inside. Ooh, he fumbled it, but he goes out of bounds. It's going to be about the 34-ish yard line, maybe 33. So we got 16 minutes left to play in this game. Yeah, that was I don't even know how he fumbled that, but yeah. Follow me, Doug, Jim Cornette. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. They've handed off. And great tackle. Ooh, wow. Overall, great play by St. Louis defense. They were almost a bit sketchy there, but they were able to get the stop. It's going to be about a 2-yard loss right there. So it's going to be about 2nd and 12 now for the Kings. Need hype up Stallions Kings. The horse team. Oh, my God. The horse team rivalry would be crazy. The battle of the horses in the final. Oh, my gosh. Second and 12 now for the Kings. One last play before the end of the third quarter. 2 receivers at the top of your screen. Technically 3 with the tight end. They hand it off again. Cuts inside. It's going to be about a 5.5-yard gain and make this about 3rd and 7, maybe 3rd and 6, they'll call it. Heading to the fourth quarter, the end game, baby. Last quarter of streams for the year, man. Crazy. At least for this year, you know. Third quarter. The tournament being fought on the pitch where we're going to get bounced to as soon as... I don't remember. Does anyone know if they've actually changed the format? Like, because I know that they have the extra one. So is there an extra round? Like, wins the election? Of course he does. Let me see this. World Cup format 2026, because the whole expansion was, you know, kind of stupid. Format and expansion. Let's see, group stage. Team, tiebreaking criteria, okay. 8 best third, oh my god. So are we doing an extra knockout stage? Oh, we're doing a round of 32 this time? Wow, so if you don't make it to the group stage, you really sucked. Wow, that's... Evan, you know, let's make the tournament even bigger, and Italy still can't make it. Oh, man, good old Italy still can't make it. But hey, you know what, though? At least East Rutherford, New Jersey will see a champion be crowned. I had to do it, had to throw some shade at MetLife. The best thing. I mean, hey, they both are, like, obviously that's the big rivalry bowl, but even the Kings GC is still a big rivalry because it's the Jason Bean Bowl, basically. But yeah, naturally the big one is obviously St. Louis versus DC in terms of being the rivalry, but yeah. Last break in the periods. I'm heading to the fourth quarter. Who gets the W? Who goes home? Do the Kings make it in their first year of existence? Man, how long is this commercial? Like I said, of course, when I used my bathroom break earlier, it was in like the one commercial break that was like 10 seconds long. No. That's great. Just no. Oh, man. Anthony Beck. Yikes. Yikes, Anthony Beck, man. He's going to get a lot of shade for a while. And I mean, like, again, man. Mike McCarthy was, you know, really good getting 12 wins every year. And every year, Cowboys, didn't matter if they played the 7-seed Packers, getting their ass kicked like that. We're at the end game now. We got 5 quarters of football. Think about this. We have 5 quarters of UFL football left this year. You know, not counting OT, we've got 5 quarters. That's it. That's crazy. But we're here at the last quarter of the playoffs in the first round. Naturally, the championship's the second round. You know, it's just the championship, so it's not even really a second round, it's championship. But ball is snapped, throws it over the middle, and it's tipped. Oh, that would have been a first down. That's a terrible drop right there. That's an egregious drop. If he catches that, that's a first down. We're losing postseason long. This is true. The clapper. That was bad. If he catches that, that's a first down. And that was Lucky Jackson. Again, that's another one for the rivalry. You know, Jason Bean versus his former team, Lucky Jackson versus first team. But I'm just going to say, I don't think either should have been a penalty. But if you're going to call Sal Cannella for unsportsmanlike for spinning the ball, I would imagine that a defensive lineman literally pushing a dude's head, like to say how we beat you, would also be one. Like, neither should be a penalty, but like, you called the wrong one. You know what I mean? No, Josh Allen will not get a ring. As a starter, no. He's got that gene of him that he just can't get it done. And like, I know he plays really well, but he always is also the biggest reason they lose. Like, people are like, oh, they mishandled that, catch to deep downfield to, Gabe Davis, but it's like, maybe he shouldn't have ran and then fumbled the ball like an idiot. Illegal block on the illegal block on the receiving team. About a 10-15 yard penalty right there for the Battlehawks. He got a wedding ring. God. Mac Jones UFL win. I think you mean Trey Lance. Trey Lance. PU. Justin Fields would go hard though. 14-20. We got 10 minutes plus 4:20 left in this game. 1st and 10 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. After the penalty, they're down at about 15-yard line. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. Pressured. Rolls up in the pocket. Throws deep to the right side. Wide open man. Incomplete. If that was a little further down, if that was like a yard shy of a throw, that would have been a potential touchdown bomb. Instead, it's a 2nd and 10 now. The Bills, man. Yeah, he got pressure. The pressure was a huge deal. If he doesn't get pressure, he probably makes that throw for sure. Man, if McBride had gotten that, oh my God, he's been so good the last couple weeks. That'd have been crazy. 2nd and 10 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. And great play by the Kings defense. We were able to get him down immediately. Going to be 3rd and 10 now. So 3rd and 10 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. We can have another like almost immediate 3 and out, like back to back. 20 and 31 for 181 yards, 1 TD, 0 interceptions, man. That's like as average a stat line as you can. I would say borderline above average, but I would say probably average. If it's worse than that, that's a bad game. If it's better than that, it's a good game. So I'd say average. Which, I mean, hey, that is better than what he's been doing, and that's what I said they needed to do. Him playing just a little bit better than what he was doing before is all they needed, and they're winning. Ball is snapped. Throws it to the right. Incomplete, too high. Gonna force a punt, 4th and 10, forcing the punt. I need a UFL game so my CFB migraine in the sense of the UFL. Man, hey, my career kicker would go hard for the UFL. Do the 4-point field goal. Oh my gosh. 7 and 20 at 3rd down's terrible. I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, there's been some really bad 3rd down percentages this year. Like, that is about 30%. That is actually a little better than 30%. It's not terrible, but could be better. Return is at the 40-yard line, the 45, the 50. Overall, decent return. The punt wasn't the greatest in the world, but again, part of that was where he was, but there is a flag. Let's see who the flag is. It could be blocking the back on somebody. I think it is blocking the back on somebody, but let's see who it is. Holding on the receiving team. That's a big play right there for the Battlehawks. It's a huge benefit for him. Receiving team number. That's a big one right there. Showing Perez on the sideline, sitting there. Sitting on the sideline, just vibing there. AJ Smith. Oh, no, not AJ Smith. Crucial holding call. 10 new posts. People making fun of the Storm again. Oh my god. And these outside throws are killing the Battlehawks. You're not really wrong. Like, he's not playing badly. He's just not playing a great game. Like, that's the thing. Perez is not playing bad today. He's just not playing great. He's playing as average as can be. He is as average as can be. But that's better than what he's been doing, which is, again, better than what Harrison Frost and Brandon Silvers were doing. So, like, they're in this game and have a real shot to win it. They're up by 2 points, but... I mean, yeah, this is a game, like, the Defenders Storm, the score in many ways was the score. This game, there's a lot of points left on the board for both teams. The deep throw right there to McBride. The Tanner Brown not going for the field goal. You know, the fourth down that they didn't go for earlier for the Battlehawks. The interception that was thrown by the wide receiver. Like, this could easily be, like, 30-29 either way. Like, it easily could be. There's been a lot of points left on the board in this game by both teams. It really is weird. Travis with the 100% of the UF. Yeah, like I've said it before. Holding out especially. I think that NFL players have one scenario where holding out is fully justifiable, and that's when you're doing your second deal after your rookie deal, because that's just tradition. Any other time you're holding out, you're basically you're being greedy. Like Jacoby Brissett holding out for what? Like, what are you holding out for? When Micah held out, I understood that. Because the whole idea is you play like 3, maybe 4 years of your rookie deal, get your 5th-year extension, and then you get your deal done. That's common. If that doesn't happen, then you have the right to hold out. But like when Dak Prescott was borderline holding out, they rush up the middle. It's about a 12-yard gain for the Louisville Kings right there. Great play by the Kings rushing game right there. Huge play. I believe it was James Robinson, right? That's a great one right there. That's a great play right there. That's what the Kings need to do. I mean, we still got a lot of football left. These 2 drives are super quick. Ian Wheeler, my bad. Ian Wheeler with a huge play. So we've still got a lot of time. We got 12 minutes left in this game. Both teams have a very real shot at winning this. In shotgun. Wheeler's still in. Ball snap. They hand it off. Cuts to the right side. Oh, he has a big open field. Breaks the tackle. Makes the man miss. Gets to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Kings. That was a great play. He had one man he had to beat. Was able to evade getting tackled at the legs. And all the way downfield for the touchdown. Huge play by Ian Wheeler. The second huge rush. Look, yes, again, both teams left a lot of points on the board. Not talking about the bad decision making by Louisville or the bad throws by Perez. The biggest issue for the Battlehawks today are the long rushes. This is their second time allowing a 50-yard rush today. That's a huge touchdown right there for the Louisville Kings to give them a 24-20 lead. That's crazy. Cashman Field, oh my god. Harrison Frost, that guy, man. Yeah, the NFL, the UFL, man, like this season been really good in terms of games. Like, it's been a great year in games. But look at that, man. That's a huge game, right? 51-yard touch. I mean, that's 2 50-yard rushes. Like, that's egregious by the defense, man. That's bad. He's going for a challenge, though. Ricky Prohl is using a challenge. Let's see if he gets this. If he gets this, it'll take the touchdown off. Is he going to throw it? Let's see. I think he did throw it. Yep, he's going to challenge it. What? Oh, okay. Sean, we're blocking the back. Okay. That's probably going to be successful, and that's probably a really bad penalty by Treat Black. Wow, they're not going to give it to him. Like, I get it. It is true. It's to the side. It doesn't affect the play at all. Like I've always said, I hate when they challenge and it's something that does not affect the play even to the slightest degree, and they call it. So they fail the challenge. That's Anthony Beck and St. Louis both failed the challenges. So it is going to be an unsuccessful challenge. Louisville has the lead 24-20, and they will be going for the extra point. I will say, I would argue going for 2 here. I get going for 1, it's easier, but if you go for 2, you make it a touchdown game. I get going for 1, blah, 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 but let's see. Kick is up, and it is good. 25-20, Louisville over the Battlehawks. Man, they should show the replay, man. That dude got burnt so bad. What was that, number 20? I gotta see the replay again. He got burnt so bad, man. Ian Wheeler just went right past him. It was crazy. So they fail the challenge. They lose a timeout down to 1 timeout left. New post. Never played football. But now it's St. Louis has got to score here. Again, we have a lot of time left. We still got a little over 11 minutes left in this game. Technically, it's like almost 12 minutes. So we got a lot of time left in this game for St. Louis to try and get back into this one. They're only down by 5. A touchdown gives them the lead. So, hey, it's nowhere near over, but they got to do something here. We'll see. One agree. If you get the touchdown, you got to make this a field goal game. Definitely agree. I'm gonna be real with you. I think that Blandino, I think that he's using the side as an excuse. I think he's just not calling that because that didn't affect the play. But never know. But that's just my gut feeling. I think he just I don't know. But St. Louis does not get the challenge. It's another failed challenge for rookie Pearl, who I think has the most in the year. Like Adam might know that better than me. I think he has the most failed challenges in the year. Look, they're showing the opening drive, touchdown, huge 50-yard rush. I mean, man. Showing these big plays. Winstead, the big play as well. And then that one, man. Look at that. Oh, you don't? Okay. I would assume that Ricky's up there. AJ's probably up there, but I don't know for sure. Kevin, I don't think really threw that many challenges, and he did get like half of them right, I think. Playoff-wise, Beck probably hasn't gotten a single one right. Let's see what St. Louis can do here. Again, even if field goal makes it a 2-point game, you'll gladly take that, so they just need to score here. Turn up to the 30, the 35, down at the 35-yard line. Less than 12 minutes left in the game. First and 10, 11 minutes and 38 seconds left for the St. Louis Battlehawks to have 1 timeout left and no challenge. Louisville has 3 timeouts and a challenge left. In shotgun. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. Gets about 5 yards in the carry to the right side. So going to be 2nd and 5 for the St. Louis Battlehawks here. Let's see this over here. Okay, got that. 11 new posts. Second and 5. 11 minutes left. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 1 at top. They hand it off again. Tries to cut to the right, going to get to the first down, and then some. Gets to the 50. Gets to about the 45. Great rush by Keelan James right there. About a 15-yard rush for the St. Louis Battlehawks. First down at about the 45-yard line in Louisville Kings territory. Ten minutes. Going to be about 10.5 minutes left once they snap this ball here. Jarvian Howard is back in the game. He is it looks like the right of Luis Perez. Yep, and you got 2 receivers up top, 2 at the bottom of your screen. Ball is snapped. Perez is going to get pressured. He's going to be taken down for the sack. It's going to be about a 7-yard sack for the Louisville Kings right there. Oh, I don't buy that, man. I'm going to be honest. I don't think A.J. Smith's going to be that guy. I mean, granted, Tyler Siskey has been bad, but man, A.J. Smith has not been good this year. Him and Mazzoni both were pretty disappointing this year. I'm going to be honest. I would say those are probably the 2 most disappointing coordinators. Because, like, Tyler Siskey wasn't disappointing. We knew exactly what we were getting into with him. But good luck to Perez and Sal. I know it's the shame, man. The Renegades. Rick Neuheisel. Oh, my God. Ball is snapped. Perez is pressured. Throws to the right. He's got a man open wide in the corner. It's a first down. McBride with another big play. He's the MVP of the team right now for the Battlehawks. Great play by him. Ted Ginn and Rick Neuheisel. Oh, no. Look, that was a great play by McBride. He was able to beat his man, caught it, and that would have been good in the NFL, and that would have been good last year when they had the 2 feet in bound rule. That was a great catch. That's a beautiful catch. That's what you got to do right there. 1st and 10, St. Louis at the 35-yard line. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff, press, throws. It's going to be caught at the 20. Going to be at the 15. And it's going to be the 15 by Sal Cannella. Another really good play right there with the Battlehawks. Really, oh my gosh. True. For the most, 1st and 10 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. 9 minutes left in the game. Is he going for a challenge? Really? Like, I think he's going to get this. I think there was a clear holding call, at least from what I saw in the first thing. But I will say this. This is not a good challenge. I think he is 100% going to get this. Let me see the replay and make sure I wasn't... Yeah, that. Number 1, that's a clear hold. That is a clear penalty. Number 2, why are you challenging that? Again, this goes back to the Becht one. This is going to be successful, but what benefit does it give you? It's only like a 20-yard net difference. My bad. 30-yard difference. It's not that big a deal here. So I'm not a fan of this challenge. If this is successful, which I think it should be, it's not worth the challenge, if I'm going to be honest. Yep, this is gonna work. This challenge is gonna be successful, but as I said, like, whoa, like, this is the one issue with, again, this is the one issue with the one super challenge. For those of you that are new to the UFL, last year, if you were successful in your first, you had a second. You only have one. So you have to use it when it matters most. So this is, in total, it's a 30-yard difference, right? This isn't a huge deal. At least Ricky's was a touchdown that was a 60-yard touchdown almost. So, oh, I know what you mean, Brandon, because I was listening to Dean too, and I was like, dude, what is he talking about? I know what you mean. But, like, yes, you got a successful challenge, but, like, the reward wasn't good enough to warrant using your only challenge. Again, you never know if they're not going to get another situation to use it. I understand that. But let's say the Battlehawks still score a touchdown in this drive or a field goal. Like, was it really worth using your challenge? I don't know. So we'll see what happens. If you're Louisville now, you better hold them to a field goal. If you allow a touchdown after that, that is going to be so demoralizing. That's going to be bad. I mean, seriously, like, I really don't know why you throw the challenge there. 1st and 20 for the Louisville or the St. Louis Battlehawks. Ball is snapped. Perez throws to the left. Is going to be caught. Breaks the tackle. Ooh. Wasn't able to break the second one. Louisville was able to swarm him, about a 2.5-yard loss. Now, again, yes, if you are able to hold him here and force him to go for 4th down, it's a great one. If you only have one challenge, man, I feel like you got to use it when you really need to. I mean, hey, if it works out, it works out. Got a little over 8 minutes left. This is going to be the last play before the, halfway mark of the 4th quarter. 2nd and 22 for the Battlehawks. In shotgun, 2 receivers up top, 2 at the bottom of your screen. Is this going to be a false start or is it going to be a neutral zone infraction? False start on the offense. Now you're making the challenge actually look good. Because now you're at, 27-yard line. I mean, right now it's Kings 25, St. Louis 20, with 8 minutes left. 2nd and 27 for the Battlehawks. I'm gonna be honest. They're showing the line of the box. Okay, that's smart by Louisville. I was gonna say, because if they didn't, I would rush it because then they wouldn't expect it. But they were smart. They were smart to predict that. Only a 3-yard gain for the Battlehawks right there. That was a good defensive formation by the Kings. They lined up like they were protecting the run, which I think was smart because I would have ran it on 2nd down if they had gone up in normal pass protection. 3rd and 25. They are going to be forced to go for it in 4th down. That is important to note, naturally. In shotgun, ball is snapped. Perez throws it to the right side of the field. It is going to be tipped, incomplete. 4th and 25. They're going to be forced to go for it here. Hey, you know what, Redmond? Trust your defense. Got to give you credit there. I thought it was a bad challenge, but you know what? You were able to work. So hey, again, hindsight's 20/20. Granted, it's at the time I still believe it was a weaker one, but you were your defense did your job. You got it. And they're talking about the challenge again. They're talking once again about how if they kept the challenge, they would have gotten this. This is another time it's happened. This is what happened earlier. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that this was also St. Louis 2 or 3 weeks ago. They did the same thing, where St. Louis used their challenge early, didn't work, and then at the end of the game, yeah, it was against Houston the first time, where they used their challenge early, it didn't work, and then instead of having it when they needed it, they just got screwed. So, happen again. So now St. Louis is going to be forced to go for it on this 4th down and 4th and 26. This league has Louisville's money line. Oh, that's great. Hey, you know what? I don't remember for sure if you got if I know Exalted was. I don't remember if DJP and Homeless were there, but I said in the earlier stream, officiating this year has been the worst it's ever been. Between the USFL, which really started the command center stuff, like in this era Springfield I'm talking about, between the USFL, the XFL, and the UFL, this has been the worst year of officiating the UFL's had. And yeah, we've seen that. It's been the worst year for sure. Cinderella style. Battlehawks, 4th and 26. Hey, you know what though? If you're a St. Louis fan, don't forget, right? The refs were doing everything in their power. They literally tried. Tony Brothers, man, he had Spurs money line. He did everything he could to give the Spurs the win. The Knicks literally breathed, and they would get flags thrown on them. Or flags. They'd get fouls called on them. And you know what? The Knicks still pulled it off. So again, even if the officials are hurting you and screwing you, you still are in it. Again, the Knicks proved that. They proved that the refs can do everything in their power to screw you over, and you can still win. Now, granted, has it been that bad today? No, because that was horrid. If you watched that game, you know how bad that was. Is this close? Yeah. Yeah. It was close. I don't know what the official percentage is. It really depends on this play specifically, but it also depends if Louisville can score again, because it's still only a 5-point game right now. We're not the Knicks. Oh. The Knicks. I can't believe the Knicks are going to be NBA champions, man. We live in a world where the Knicks are going to be NBA champions. It's crazy. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen. This Battlehawks are probably going to go for a 15-yard gain right here. Just sort of middle play right here. And they do a dump off incomplete. Going to be a 4th down. Turnover on downs. Louisville gets the ball back a good percentage. Kissy Tuns goodbye next season. Hey, it'll be their 4th straight playoff loss. If you count week 9 against the Dragons, it'll be their 4th straight playoff loss. Home playoff loss. Let me rephrase that. Home playoff loss. I gotta make sure I say that. Well, we got next year, I think. Hey, this our year. We them boys. Again, there's still 6.5 minutes. There's still 7 minutes left. Like, there still is a lot of time. Even if the Kings get a field goal, it's still only an 8-point game. Ball is snapped. Great play by St. Louis's defense. They just got about a 6-yard sack. Remember, they were technically at the 49-yard line. So Louisville is going to be forced to go for this on 4th down. So if they're able to hold him here, that's going to be really huge for St. Louis. They can force them to go for it again and get a really good position again. That's a great play by St. Louis's defense. Got to give credit to James Robinson. That could have been a fumble. Very good that he didn't drop that one. But a great play by Corey Chamberlain's unit right there. 2nd and 14 for the Kings. We got a little under 6.5 minutes left. Going to be about 6 1/4 left once they snap this ball. Ball is snapped. Getting pressured. Throws it in the dirt. Good throwaway. But it's 3rd and 14 now. Again, that's what I mean. Because this is the big thing. Because they started this drive at the 49.5-yard line, they are forced to go for it on 4th down. So if St. Louis can stop them here again, they will force them to go for it on 4th down. The only way that's not a big deal is if they gain about 10 yards. If they gain 10 to 12 yards, they're going to kick the field goal. But if they gain anything less than that, they're going to be forced to go for it on 4th down, and St. Louis could get the ball back in really good field position. 3rd and 14. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. Rogers throws it over the middle of the field. It is caught. Wow. Blown coverage. Lucky Jackson gets the 1st down. There's a flag. Let's see what the flag is. This might be holding. Close. Ineligible player downfield. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and 19 for the Louisville Kings. That's a bad penalty to take because St. Louis's defense got cooked right there. The middle of the field got fully wide open, and instead they ended up shooting themselves in the foot right there with that penalty. Yeah, he's not even blocking anybody. That's a good call. Dude's literally just out in the open, just sitting there. That's a good call. Dude, he was almost as far out as Lucky Jackson was. Oh my god, I didn't realize I was lucky down there. That was bad. That was bad. 3rd and 19 for the Louisville Kings. 25-20. We've got 5.5 minutes left in the game. St. Louis has no challenge. Louisville has no challenge. St. Louis has 1 timeout left. Louisville has all 3 timeouts left. If Louisville can get this to at least the 44-yard line, they will go for a field goal. At least they should. If they do not, they will be forced to go for it on 4th down due to the past the 50 rule because this drive started at the 49.5-yard line. 3rd and 19. Under 5.5 minutes left to go in the game. 2 receivers up top, 2 at the bottom. Rogers is pressured, rolling to his right. He might run it. He's running for it. He gets to the 45, the 50. Goes out of bounds at the 45. He should have gone in a bit farther. He's looking for a flag. I don't know what for. I think that was pretty clearly hit when he was going out of bounds. I think that is the correct decision. Do not throw a flag. I will say he should have gone another yard. Again, See, this is, we talked about, again, if you watch, this is a pull, but if you watch the Knicks versus Cavs game 1, the announcers talk about Dennis Schroeder saying, hey, I got that foul to try and trip them up later. Earlier in this game, Chandler Rogers was fishing for a penalty with a really bad slide, where it was clearly fishing for a penalty. That may have been a huge reason why he didn't get that flag right there. Again, they didn't show the replay, but I don't think at first viewing that was a penalty. Timeout Louisville. They're going to go for this here. Again, this is what I didn't like about Rogers. If Rogers goes another 1 or 2 yards forward, they're able to kick a field goal. They have the best kicker in the league. If he makes a kick and makes it a 9-point game, they are winning. Instead, he goes out of bounds a bit early, and now it's 4th and 6. They still haven't showed the replay, by the way, which I want to see this replay. I think Tanner Brown wants to go out there and kick this. They going to show the replay, or is it lost time? Was he talking about challenging? Bro, you already used the challenge. What are you talking about? This is a 63-yard kick attempt. This is the right call. If Tanner Brown misses this, he misses. But he is the best kicker in the league. This is the right call. They should have done this earlier, and they didn't, and they're doing it now. Let's see if he can make this. This will be his 3rd 60-yard on the field of the season. Oh my God, he made it. You can't be mad about that. This is the best kicker in the league. This is another. That matches McCrane. You can't be like. Hey, he made it. That's a crazy one. That's a huge kick right there. That makes it a 9-point game. Remember, it's still a 1-score game. It's still a 1-score game because of 3-point conversion, but that's a huge one right there. Tanner Brown, man, like, it's insane. That's a second 60-yard field goal in this game. That's a 1-yarder, 60-yarder, and a 63-yarder. I mean, this dude is getting an NFL contract like that. Remember, the 3-point conversion, for those of you, I mean, again, we've only had like 3 attempts this year, or 4. The 3-point conversion got moved up. Because of the changes they did to the extra points, they not only moved up the 2-point conversion to the 2-yard line, but they moved the 3-point from the 10 to the 8. So it's not like a huge difference, but it is slightly easier to make it than it was last year. Return is up to the 20, the 30, and down about the 34-yard line. Yeah, that is crazy. 3 60-yard field goals today is crazy, actually. Can't believe she's... I mean, that is crazy. 3 60-yard field goals in one day is insane. And hell, 2 in one game is crazy. I mean, man, that's crazy. Ooh. Gonna be about a 3.5-yard gain right there, I believe. Yep, 3 yards exactly. Yep. Gets pressured, throws it over the middle, incomplete. That should be a flag for defensive holding or something. Or not, apparently. Okay, are they going to show this replay? I wanted to see the Rogers replay. I thought that was the right call to not throw the flag, but I never saw the replay, so I can't confirm. I want to see if this was the one they should have done it. Let's see. That's not egregious. That's Either way, I'm fine with a flag or no flag on the replay. Ball is caught. It's about a 6-yard gain. They're going to call it 5.5 probably. This is going to be a very short fourth down. You got to go for it here. Do not do what the defenders did last week. Do not do what the Storm did today. Go for this. They got to go for this here. 4th and 1. Got to go for this here. This is a little higher than 1 yard. It's a 1.5 yard gain they need. First down got by Jarvian Howard, and he actually got it by about an extra yard. So first down for the Battlehawks. 2 minutes and 49 seconds left. In shotgun, 2 receivers at both sides of the ball. Ball is snapped. Throw it to the right side of the field. Caught out of bounds by McBride's been so good today. I will say, I don't know why Perez is fishing for an offsides or something. Like, dude, you do not have enough time to do that. Tried his hardest with the Storm, too. Yeah, it was bad, too. You got to snap this ball, man. Come on, Perez. Snap the ball. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Wow, that's okay. Well, that's a makeup call right there. Number 1, that was a bad drop by McBride. Number 2, holy makeup call. That should not have been allowed to be snapped. That was egregiously past 2 minutes. Number 3, what the fuck are you doing, Perez? You just stood there for like 7 seconds, knowing damn well you had to snap the ball, and you got wholly bailouted by the refs, letting you snap that ball. Like, that play right there, that's a rough watch. Okay. That was a bad play. To recap that last play, the clock is coming down. The Battlehawks need to understand they need to score twice because you cannot view a 3-point conversion as a guaranteed success. So you need to score now. Snap at the fingers now. So if you're Perez, you got to snap that ball before 2 minutes. You are lined up fully there to snap it at about 2:07. You decide not to snap it. You just stand there. The clock hits 2 minutes. It stays at 2 minutes for a solid 2 seconds. The refs don't stop the clock for some reason and let them snap it anyway. Then they throw it and McBride drops it. That is like one of the like what the hell plays I've ever seen. Like holy botch by everyone involved. Let me phrase that. Everyone but no, I'll say everyone. That was dude, I don't even know what to say. That was terrible. All fronts. I mean, that's a bailout by the refs. That's them giving back one of those penalties because they shouldn't have snapped the ball. Granted, Perez should have snapped it. I don't know what he was doing there. Like, Perez, man, you're that guy. Like, it's just something about Perez, man. Like, this is not the first time he's done that, right? Early on this year, he needed to snap the ball against Houston, and he didn't spike it. He just held on to it for no reason. He's done this multiple times this year alone. And it's crazy. This guy is the most experienced quarterback in this league, even more so than Jordan Ta'amu. He is the only one, I would also say Ta'amu, that there is no excuse for that. That is a terrible play by Perez. And the refs bailed him out. The refs bailed him out. The refs have done everything in the last 10 minutes to go against the Battlehawks. And they were bailing them out. And he still messed up. Granted, I get it. McBride dropped it, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But he's been great. McBride, I'm okay with him dropping that. Only because he has been the best offensive weapon for the team. That's his first real mistake. I'm not going to be mad at that. That's your first mistake on the day. I can't be mad at that. Oh, that's egregious. That was a full second and a half. That's terrible, yeah. That was a play and a half. Thank you, Ian. In the Derby, not let his team lose. Yeah, that was a play right there. That was one of the most effed up plays I've ever seen in my life. Like, that's up there, but you know what? 1st and 10. Hella, he literally just stood there 20 seconds. Oh my god. Ball is snapped. Fake the handoff. Perez is pressured, and he takes the sack. Oh my god. They lose about 7 yards on the sack. They got to go quick here. Quick. Do not call a timeout. Just go quick. There you go. Go quick. Snap this ball, Perez. Okay, snapped it within 3 seconds. That's not bad. Throws it over the middle. Great catch right there. A little bit of a suspect throw, but great catch by Blake Jackson. That gives you the first down. Remember, the clock stops on first downs within 2 minutes. Great play right there. Blake Jackson got a really great catch, having to go low to get that. I might stream a couple NFL games later this year. I might, but I don't know 100% sure. And Louisville is going to go down here. I know we talked about DC allegedly faking injuries. If you're Louisville, you wouldn't be faking an injury here, if I'm not mistaken, because at this point, it's just only helping St. Louis because St. Louis needs the time. So that's him being down. There's no way he's faking that one. There's no reason to benefit that because I know we had that in the last game. There was alleged, faking there. You're not doing that in this scenario. If you're Louisville, that doesn't actually help you at all. So that's legitimately him going down for a cramp. What a game, man. With hundreds of job skills. 14 posts, another 4-point field goal is crazy, man. 1st and 10 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Minute and 30 seconds left in this game. 3 receivers at the top of your screen for the Battlehawks. 1 at the bottom. And they get the offsides. It's going to be neutral zone infraction. 5 yards for the Battlehawks. No. You got to go for the touchdown. You do not want to play this. I understand some people might say play for the field goal, go for it. You got to view that you can get 3-point conversion. So you got to go for the touchdown. Right? Counting all bases. You got to go for the touchdown on this drive, then do the 4th and 12. Because then the field goal is obviously a lot easier to get into range for and all that. So it's nice to get a little extra 5 yards, but they're 25 yards away from the end zone, basically. Ball is snapped. Perez is pressured. And he just stands there and takes the sack. That's going to be about a 4-yard loss. Gotta go quick. Gotta go quick here. Lining up quickly. In shotgun again. Minute and 11. Minute 10. Ball is snapped. Pass throw to the right. It is caught by Jarvin Howard, who gets the first. Great play by Howard. Gets the first down, gets to the 15. That should have been a 2-yard loss and a really what were you throwing, Perez? Instead, Howard made a great play. Gets the first down to stop the clock. Got 59 seconds left. Pretty, what are you doing over there? Did they get another one? Did they get him offsides again? They got another one. That's huge. Okay, that's man, Louisville needs to stop doing this. That's another 5 yards they just lost right there. They just gave another 5 yards to St. Louis right there. Tried to get the snap up. That's a bad one right there again. 1st and 5 for the Battlehawks. They need 15 yards to get the touchdown, and they got to go for the 3-point conversion, try and tie it, and then, worst case, go for the 4th and 12. We might get OT. Who knows? 1st and 5 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. They need 10 yards to get to the end zone. They're at the 10-yard line now because of the penalty. Ball is snapped. Perez rolls out to the right. Throws it. It is a bit of a mallard, and it's incomplete. We was trying to substitute Will. 2nd and 5. 47 seconds left. Yeah, and St. Louis technically does not have to get the touchdown right now. Again, they technically can get a first down, so they don't have to get 10 yards in one play. Again, you want to have extra time in case you need the 4th and 12, but we'll see what happens here. 2nd and 5 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. 3 receivers at the top of your screen. Ball snapped, almost took a delay of game penalty, and it's batted at the line of scrimmage. Great bat by the Louisville Kings defense. 3rd and 5 now for the St. Louis Battlehawks. With anything today. 3rd and 5 for the St. Louis Battlehawks. They better not be saying what I think they just said about calling a timeout. They better not be saying that. Third and 5, ball is snapped. They hand it off. There's a flag on the field down at the 2-yard line, but there is a flag. Let's see what this flag is. Offensive holding, that's going to be a 10-yard penalty on the offense. That's going to make it 3rd and 15 now. It's a bad one for Beecham to take right there. Hmm. 3rd and 15. St. Louis has got 2 plays to get a touchdown. Because, yes, again, they couldn't get the first down. The first down is still doable, but you need a touchdown, man. You don't have enough time to really keep doing this. 3rd and 15. 3 receivers at the top of your screen, 2 at the bottom. They're at the 20-yard line. First down is at the 5. Ball snap. Perez throws over the middle. And it's intercepted. That's game over. Threw it right over the middle, and it's intercepted, man. This was a really weird game. This was a weird game, but the Kings ended up getting the W. So many points left on the board. Let's first and foremost, let's talk about, again, Kings are going to the final. It's going to be the Kings versus the Defenders. It's going to be the battle of Jason Bean, the guy that got replaced by Chandler Rogers, going against Chandler Rogers. So it's going to be a really cool game in terms of that storyline. I will say in terms of this game, my God, this is one that, no matter who you are, you got a lot to say about this game. If you're a Kings fan, you're going to complain about the insane amount of points you left on the board with really bad decision-making. If you're a Battlehawks fan, you're going to blame the officials. If you're a Battlehawks fan that's not blaming the officials, you're blaming Luis Perez. There's a good reason for it. It's a weird game. Louisville, earlier in the game, for those of you that are joining recently, Louisville had a very similar situation to that 63-yarder they kicked. Yeah, they could have kicked a 62-yarder and elected to go for it and didn't get it. Then they had another time where it would have been a shorter field goal and elected to do some weird double pass, and they threw an interception. St. Louis, there's been numerous bad overall plays that they have had with Perez overthrowing his receivers to their shoulder, and that resulted in missed ones. Then, obviously, the penalties, the challenges have been controversial. And then at the very end, you even had them doing some give-back one. Just really, really weird game. The Kings do end up getting the W. When you look at the overall box score, Rogers was 12 of 20 for 160 yards. I mean, he was better than Perez. He wasn't, like, great by any stretch of the imagination, but he had over 10 yards of completion. Wow, 5.5 yards per attempt is not good. That's not good. Ground game, it's like what you expect of this team. Like 4.1 is solid. The big rush really helps that. You eliminate that, it goes down again, just typical. Kings were overall more... The big plays also killed them, right? The Kings had 3 truly huge plays. The Ian Wheeler touchdown, the James Robinson touchdown, and then that huge Isaiah Winstead play. Those really killed them. They had 3 really, really, really long plays, and that's what really happened for sure. I hate the way the game ended. St. Louis Antibeck can hang on. Cancun. Yeah, this does mean that it's just... That's both teams lost. Everybody assumed that, maybe one of them gets the W. Instead, they both ended up taking the L's. So, I guess, they're made for each other. But not the best. Let me go over here. I was not super close. I had this... My prediction was 34-27 Kings winning. So I still was relatively close, not like super close by any stretch of the imagination. I was like 1 touchdown almost away from both. But overall, if you were to do my overall like 6 picks, if you do the over-under spread, all that, I technically was 5 of 6 for this week, which I will gladly take that after how bad the early season was. I will gladly take that. So, yeah, definitely looking a lot better than what I started. This season I started out rough, but this is a huge one, so... It's just, this is not how I expected the Kings to win this game, but, like, I still think the Kings probably win it all. I think that whoever won this one was going to win, but yeah. Yeah, so the matchup is set. It's going to be the Kings versus the Defenders. So, huge win for the Kings. Now, in terms of other stuff, before I sign off the stream, again, this is the last regular UFL live play-by-play we're doing for the year because I will be at the title game this year, so I won't be able to do a play-by-play for it. So this was the last overall stream we're doing. Again, I might do one obviously I probably am planning to do a live stream when we do the fantasy draft for the NFL season, but I might do one in between that's different, but this is the last regular stream. So those have been for just one stream, for a couple, for all of them. Thank you for another great year of streams. Again, this is the 2nd year in a row where, not counting the title game, we did every Friday game and one other game during the regular season and did both playoff games. So technically speaking, in this year and last year, that's 25 live play-by-plays out of a total of 40. What would that be? 44 games total. That's up there. Well, technically it would be 80. You know what I mean? Crazy numbers, right? 44 out of like 84 games, 86 games streamed is crazy, but it's crazy, man. So actually 45 of 86. So over 50% of all the games last 2 years have been streamed, which is crazy. So thank you all for being here. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I will be still doing at least two videos a week during the off season. Naturally, have a lot of videos to talk about, rankings after the season is over. Again, this upcoming week, we will have the week review. We will have the championship game picks video and the 2 eliminated videos. So have at least 4 videos plus second and 6. All will be coming out this week. So we still have a lot of videos coming out this week. Might have one of those videos come out tomorrow. Might be Tuesday where I start uploading them. Depends what I get done tonight versus tomorrow and all that. But again, thank you all for a great season. Thank you all again for 1,500 subscribers. I officially put out my post about that earlier today. Thank you all again for that. Big milestone. Crazy to think we got there after, all these years doing this. But hope to see a lot of you guys next season. Might do a couple NFL player plays and all that. We'll see. As always, guys, have a great night.